ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome into round number 14 of the 2026 Underground RC Supercross Championship live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower, joined in the booth this week by the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew Wood, as always, ready to bring the action from Cleveland. A triple crown here tonight, 250 East, 450 action, and the first time we've visited Cleveland in over 3 decades. So, Andrew Wood, how exciting is it to be in the great Ohio area?
Great. Ohio is amazing. I've heard really good things about it, but exciting to have a new series or a new stop on the schedule. But in real life, not going to be too exciting. Should be a big mutter, but I do think it's going to be fun. I like this track layout from what I've seen so far, so should be some good racing. And this series has been good so far, especially in 250 East, so really excited for it. And Triple Crowns are always a good time.
Yeah, a bit of a throwback vibe with the track this week. We'll get to that in just a minute, but if you're joining us for the first time, don't know where the standings are for 250 and 450 class, hey, just last week, Jake Spiess clawed the red plate away from Braden Tharp back into the points lead. And then on the flip side, a tough week for Seth Carr. Still has a healthy championship lead, but I feel like both title fights have a little bit of some leeway going on to him right now.
Yeah, I mean, Carr kind of had this big blow up and made this thing a little tighter, so can't do that again, or maybe 1 or 2 more times. But 250 title has been awesome, going back and forth between these two. It's all about who's going to be able to catch that momentum down the stretch, and into that final showdown too will be interesting, because unless someone really blows it up, I think that final round for this East Coast class is going to be great. So we're just going to have to see who can try to get that little points lead that they're going to need going into that round.
Well, before we start off tonight, I want to give a big thanks to It's Thumper and Jay Spiess 216. Of course, Jake Spiess himself. Both of them subbing up. Jake Spiess for his 11th month total, 4-month streak, and It's Thumper subbing up using Prime over on Twitch for his 7th month, and he is on a 3-month streak. So thanks so much, guys, for the support. Hey, let's talk about qualifying here, rolling into Cleveland tonight. Again, Fast 18, make it straight in, and we'll have these last chance qualifiers coming at you pretty quick. So let's see what happens. Seth Carr, 47.3 and a 47.3 out of Luke Sullivan, 47.4 out of last week's winner, Braden Carter. Spencer Turley's up there. We got a lot of 47s. Holy bejesus. First down to 14th, all in the 47-second range, 0.6 of a second between them. And if you're 18th, Evan Holt, you did a 48.1, and you just barely made it in. 0.8 off of the top time, barely made it in. If you're 0.9 off like Mr. Joey Carter, you're going to the LCQ. Holy tight times here tonight for the Triple Crown.
I think it's just that short track and having maybe not enough to kind of separate these guys on it, but I think this might be the closest qualifying we've seen. Normally it's about a second between the top 10, and that's pretty close, but to have it less than that all the way back to 18th at the Triple Crown, and you're going to the LCQ after running what you thought was a pretty good time. Very interesting for these guys. Also, Yankees just walked it off. So,
oh, great. Fantastic. If you look down the list here, there are some big names going to these LCQs to start off the night. Obviously, pick out your favorite rider. Connor Lynn's here again tonight. Tyson Fresca is here tonight. We'll see if that time was able to bump him in or not. Talking 250 East, Jake Spiess with the red plate goes fastest by 0.2 over Braden Tharp. Cade Matherly, who won last week, of course, in Nashville. He's back in the mix a little bit. He's not in it for the championship hunt, but he's back out trying to win races. 49 flat. Now, he was fastest qualifier last week in Nashville and converted it into a race win. What do you think about this here tonight? Not fastest in qualifying, but we know that he's able to get off the gate well.
Yeah, and 0.2 between all 3 of these guys at the front, and then it kind of has a big drop-off. So I do think that they're all kind of in it. Short qualifying time, maybe not able to figure out the track. So I think Cade is definitely in here, and he's going to play spoiler for sure. He's also been getting really good starts, so that's something you don't want to see. Tharp and Spiess, it seems like they go back and forth with getting good starts. So if Matherly can play spoiler, especially in these short races, getting out front and maybe messing up this title fight a little bit, he's definitely going to be a factor here tonight.
Bit more leeway in the 250 class. 48.6 was your top time. If you hope to make it in, though, you had to run a 50.656. So within that 2-second range, a lot of big names down here. Also going to the last chance qualifier to start off our night. Again, we're going to have 2 LCQs and then again 6 main races coming up. So pick out your favorite names, see where they ended up in qualifying. Let's talk about standings real quick. We'll run through this before we jump in and talk about this racetrack here tonight. Again, really tough week for Seth Carr last week. Braden Carter picks up up his 36th career win, pulls to 28 back. Eaglin right there, second on the night last week in Nashville, pulls to 29 back. But Carr still has over a race distance lead with 4 to go, so he's in a great position still. We'll see if he can rebound here tonight. 250 East, though, just 1 point in it. Spieth versus Tharp. They've opened up a gap on everybody else, and for them, of course, 3 races still to go in their championship. What do you make about this? 3 races to go. It's a bit of a sprint down the stretch. 2 races that they're just racing each other, and then that showdown in Salt Lake City. Who gets the dub here in these final 3?
I think it's kind of interesting in both classes. Being a Triple Crown, there's no way that these guys can miss the main event, so they're going to be scoring points no matter what. And in Triple Crowns, if you have a bad ride, say you go down off the start and you get a 12th in one race, but you finish top 3 the rest of them, it's going to average out, and you can't really lose too many points. I think this is still going to be very tight here at the end of the night. Not a big swing one way or the other. I foresee Spieths and Tharp and Matherly kind of being on the podium just in some order. So I don't think we're going to see too much of a shakeup here tonight. So then that brings one more, I guess, really important round where you can capitalize on that before their showdown at the end. So I think it's not going to be too crazy for the title fights unless someone has a really, really bad night.
All right, we'll see what happens. Triple Crowns can always bring a bit of flavor to them, and it is going to be even more so on this racetrack here tonight. So, Cleveland, take us through what you're seeing on this racetrack here tonight. Andrew Wood, obviously a start straight pretty long into that first-hand, left-hand sweeper, but then from there, kind of a lot of different options on this racetrack.
Yeah, big rhythm section at the bottom of our screen. Whoop section is pretty kind of high speed, I feel like, into a jump into a big bull corner. So maybe some passes there if we see some guys with good whoop speed. And then the alternate line before the finish line is going to be interesting. If anyone's able to take the outside and make it work, or if we're all just going to be funneling in there, that could either become a big part of the racetrack, or it could not, and it'll just be like a one-line spot where we don't see too much. So hopefully we get something like interesting in the small rhythm section after the finish line and the big rhythm section that you see at the bottom of your screen there. And hopefully that'll kind of tell us how this track's going to be. But a lot of 90s, not sure how it's going to race. We're going to have to see once we get these LCQs going.
We got a tip from Luke Sheff in chat that Will now is running a Cavs-themed kit for LeBron's home race. So we'll go check out what Will now is looking like on the Nexus 824. A lot of good names coming up in this heat race, and we'll get you guys sorted on that here in just a moment as we load into the server. Make sure that we're all up and good there. Also want to get our moto names up here correctly as well. We got the 250 LCQ coming at you first. If you've never been with us here before for these Triple Crown races, we start off with 2 last chance qualifiers, the 250 and 450 LCQs first. Decide 4 more riders that will go on to the main motos, and then 3 Triple Crown races, 10 minutes plus 2 laps each, or 10 minutes plus a lap each for the 250s, and 12 minutes plus a lap each for the 450s. So a lot of racing coming at you tonight, and it'll be coming at you quick. We start off with the LCQs, Wood. These are the best races of the night usually, and we get to start off with them.
Best race of the night, always hectic. Who's going to go through to the main events here tonight? Honestly, I'm hoping these fix my mood because I'm kind of actually really upset about that baseball game. So it controls my life. And
don't let it, man.
And I follow such a terrible team that I have to be very strong.
The Angels are terrible, unfortunately.
They're so bad. Wild pitch, walk off, and then
well, they at least beat the Yankees yesterday, right? So that's good news.
Should have been 3 in a row. Should have swept. Whatever. Whatever, dude.
All right, so these boys are out there right now on a bit of a warm-up lap, getting a bird's eye view of this racetrack.
Big that bull turn is. It's like a wall, huh? When you hit that thing, it's like insane how tall that is. Here, I think inside's going to be dominant, double, or can you triple that all the way to the finish from the inside?
I don't know, actually. It's going to be.
Someone's got a bum finger. Shout out James Dean. Love you.
Yeah, apologies if my transitions from rider to rider tonight are a bit slow. I'm working with 1 thumb on the controller instead of my regular 2. Down 1 thumb here in Cleveland. But it's time to go racing 250 LCQ. Who makes it to the main motos? Let's find out right now.
Ooh, a couple good jumps on the inside.
Yep, Dustin Garrett was there. He's going to push a couple guys outside. Rider Carnine goes deep. And up the inside goes Jace Williams, the 242 Moo KTM to the race lead. Ryder Carnine in second. And then a lot of guys went down on that double-double option out of turn number 1. Oh, Carnine underneath Williams ends up down with both of them together. That promotes Jared Gummison into the race lead on the 74. Williams back into the 2 spot is tripling over him to the inside as Quentin Hallam. Oh, they almost get together, and Hallam lays it down. He gets jumped over the top of as Steven Short goes down, and it's all chaos kicking off in this LCQ.
This is exactly why we love these LCQs for the Triple Crowns, especially in the 250 class, just straight carnage. We see Joseph Pilsner here in the 7 spot, losing another one, though, as we're moving up to kind of check in on our 4th place. So this is Quentin Hallam now. He's 1 spot ahead of George Cosenza on the bubble spot. Made it through a little bit clean, but man, he's got a lot of competition right behind him, and a lot of people went down early. So we might see some shuffling here in this LCQ if these guys can't keep it on too.
Again, a first look at what these guys are seeing on this racetrack as well. 250 versus 450. We'll see some different options being used around this racetrack, but momentum is key on these 250s. And you can see a couple guys coming up short on that triple in our big Supercross triple. Speaking of coming up short, a little mistake for Hallam, and Cosenza was maybe looking at it right there. Going to go 2 in, 3, then jump off the table all the way over the big single. Call that a 4 IRL. Double into the corner, and this battle still continuing. Carl Novak just ahead. Hallam just behind, might have a run down the inside of the whoops. He's going to get that spot, Andrew Wood.
Yeah, Hallam got into those bales just a little bit and loses that. So Cosenza's in the 3rd. Hallam actually, sitting in 4th still. So Jace Williams is now the one chasing behind all of these guys. So Cosenza in a pretty good spot. Did we miss someone going down? But so Gummison leading Novak, Cosenza, and Hallam. And then that's your top 4 right now making it in. Seeing these guys hit that triple there, pass up the inside, they make contact, and Cosenza goes down and off the bike, just trying to avoid a rider getting sketchy, and that was Novak right there. So that is going to promote Nicholas Beckstead into the final transfer spot.
Bit overzealous for a non-transfer spot for those guys. Beckstead into the rear tire, and front end lock galore right there, gets kind of hung up. Loberta goes by, as did Jace Williams. Williams was the man who was up there in second. Must have made a mistake. He fell outside of the transfer spots. Now he's back in. Interesting to see these whoops tonight, Andrew Wood. The 250 guys normally been struggling with them in this East Coast division, but I think they're a bit scaled down tonight because it looks like they're more rolled out for these guys to hit them.
They look small, and on your side lap that you showed, it almost looked like every other one was kind of rolled. Quentin Hallam gets into Novak right here. So these guys are having a very eventful LCQ right here. Oh, Novak messes up that corner, has to check up. So that's going to allow Jace Williams to get by, and Novak is now on the bubble spot. See if he can get this big triple out. We've seen some people casing it, and he struggles with it again. That's the 2nd time we've seen him miss or narrowly miss that triple, as he is all over the place. And Luberta is now in the final transfer spot with Lawson Dye right on his rear wheel. Novak bar to bar.
That's Beckstead. He's still bar to bar with down this rhythm lane. Man, these 250 guys are all over the place right now early in this one. Again, only an hour to qualify on this racetrack, so not too much time to get the lay down of the land just yet, as Lawson Dye goes by, then jumps off the track and allows. That was
Novak back by.
Novak and Jace Williams both going back by. Now Dye trying to get up the inside, and the off-camera lays Novak out, and Beckstead comes to a stop. Meanwhile, around the outside comes Tyler Perez. He's trying to get into the mix, up into 6th now, right behind Lawson Dye. What was Dye thinking right there, man? I don't know. Where's he going?
I don't know. That reminds me of the Braden Carter move last week on Armbruster that I got clipped on the TikTok page for. Not happy about that, but it's okay. Crazy move by Dye. Can't believe he stayed up, but yeah, overzealous. Come on, man. We've been fans of you. What are we doing out there?
I know. Colt Nichols, mechanic out here, giving us a bit of a heart attack there in that corner. Yeah. As he is still trying to run down Jace Williams. Tommy Liberta's now up in 3rd. Quentin Hallam in 2nd, with Gummison still leading the race.
Gummison went down, though. He almost had a 10-second lead, so now that's only down to 2 seconds out front. Actually, probably was more than 10 seconds, so this is getting a little tighter up front, but Gummison's still holding on pretty good here.
Yeah, Hallam right there. Liberta, as Joseph Pilsner runs our new fast lap of the race in 16th place. Jace Williams still in the 4th spot, or is he? Whoa! Lawson Dye down the inside, going for the pass on Williams, but not close enough just yet. Now a mistake for Williams. Look at Dye up the inside, and right behind them as well is Perez. Perez now side by side with Williams. He's going to check up and go for the Supercross triple. Seat bounces it, and lands on Williams, but holds on to the spot. Lawson Dye did go by, so he's got a little bit of a gap now. These guys are just going at it right now for this final transfer spot.
So we may see a little bit of different riding in the main events when you have maybe some of the faster guys out there. Obviously, these are the fringe guys just trying to get into the main event Triple Crown, but that triple before the Supercross triple looks like it's really big, and we're seeing a lot of guys struggle with it. Maybe as a rut develops, they'll be able to carry some more speed there, and later in the race, it'll get easy. But for now, we're seeing a lot of guys mess up that 353 that Lawson Dye is going to be coming up to right after this section. It seems like a very important spot for this 250 class to get clean. Look at this battle up front.
Yeah, battle for the lead on the final lap of the LCQ. Quentin Hallam is there. Jared Gummison makes a mistake. Hallam off rhythm. Both of them are kind of messing this section up. Hallam's going to go for the 3 into the corner. He's going to get close to Gummison. And Luberta is right there as well in the background. Gummison getting sideways in the whoops. Here's Hallam to the outside, trying to make the pass. Gummison back to the inside, almost lays it down. And Hallam rips around the outside to make the pass on the final lap of the LCQ. Up the inside, over the table over single. Quentin Hallam wins the LCQ. Gummison second. Luberta third. And Lawson Dye, unless something dramatic happens in this final corner. Whoa, maybe just a little bit off the track. Got to talk about cuts here. He is going to come across. Gatland over the line behind him. Had more penalties, though, and he is going to miss out. Bummer for Jack Gatland, Jace Williams, Steven Short, George Cosenza, Tyler Perez, Luke Scheffler. Got Will now. There is that LeBron-themed Cavs gear, I guess. Is that what that's supposed to be?
It doesn't look
he's
like it.
Quit, so we can't look at it anymore.
So I'm interested too right here to the right, that option lane jumping across the start. I'm wondering what the 450 riders are going to be using as we get into those races here tonight. But really interesting in that long rhythm too, seeing that these guys are struggling so much on that flat corner. We saw rolling, doubling in, tripling from the outside, all sorts of different lines. Quentin Hallam comes out on top of that one, but I actually like this track. Seems like it's been pretty tricky for these guys. What kind of seems like it could be a basic layout and maybe have 1 or 2 one-line sections. Looks like the difficult rhythm sections still can bring us some good racing here. So I like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some options at play, at least for the 250 boys. I am curious to see if the 450s will do something different here tonight. It would be nice if that off-camber came into play a little bit because it does seem quite inside dominant for the time being, but maybe the 450s can carry just a little bit more speed and give us something to watch. All right, heading into our 450 LCQ coming up next. You see the names on the left-hand side of your screen. Some big names in here for sure, including Tyler Lang on the number 5, JIBR.co Kawasaki, the 2021 Race Factory Gaming National Motocross Champion. And we'll see if he's able to make it in, as well as Chase Blakely. Connor Linz is in this one as well. Joey Carter, we know he rips good starts. Jax Lindsay also up in here as well. But it does seem like Tyson Fresquez did not make the night show, which is sad. I feel like
he was like 43rd. He was on the run.
Yeah, he made a main event.
Came in
a couple
slow
weeks ago. Yeah,
then made a main, then had a bad round. I thought he can turn it back around. A lot of big names here though. A lot of fast guys. See what T Lang, Schiabro, Anthony Piccioni, Johnny Padani, D Davis. See if Devin Ryan can make a main event here. Buddy Parker and Jackson Lindsay have been hot. Joey Carter, you know he's my favorite off the start. I don't know where he qualified or where his gate pick is, but I'm calling Joey Carter for a whole shot right here.
All right, you heard it here first, people. Joey Carter going for that whole shot. See if he gets the job done. Again, only 4 riders will make it through into the main event here in Cleveland. Triple Crown format. So if you're just joining us here on Start Your Systems, first off, welcome to the broadcast. Hope you guys are sitting down somewhere, having yourself a nice beverage. Maybe that's our question of the night. We did last week where everyone's watching from. What are you drinking? What's at the desk? If you're on the couch, what are you guzzling down? You got yourself a Capri Sun, or maybe you got yourself a nice Corona.
You know what I'm guzzling.
Oh, I don't need to know, I don't think. But yeah, what do we got to drink tonight, fellas? Let us know in the chat. We'll call it out.
I got a nice big wada. Smirnoff Ice Orange Cream Pop from Lane.
Honestly, that sounds pretty
Tibber Nipples got some ice cream. What flavor? That's what matters.
Ice cream. Whoa. Gatorade, vodka lemonade. It's all kind of good stuff out up
Some
in here.
Tito's, pizza and Fanta for the kids.
Here we go. 450 LCQ from Cleveland. We're off and running. Joey Carter alongside the box does get a pretty good start. It's he versus Horn up the inside. And it's going to be Alec Horn. We got him on board, and he is the one who comes out with the whole shot. Horn into the lead. Pachon up into the inside into second place with T-Lane to the outside into third. Connor Lins with a good start. Over the triple face. Lands it and rides out of it while Bodie Parker rolls up the windows and goes down. Lins up into fourth early here.
You know what's crazy is 2 riders went for that. I wonder if they're struggling with the 222 and that's easier on the 450. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Connor Lins goes 4 3/4 into the corner on that quad. Runs into Anthony Pachon too. So look at all these guys. There's 5 wide through the whoops right here. Back to the front. Let's get reset. Tyler Lang, Padani, Vial, and Schiabro with Joey Carter in 5th. And this is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 12th on your screen.
They're all coming into the corner together
insane.
here. Here's that inside versus outside option. Does it work? Oh, it's pretty close, actually. Dooley's cross jump city out here as D. Davis stays up, but all the chaos happens behind him. I think one of those was, unfortunately, Alec Horn, who goes from this battle outside of the top 20. Bodie Parker down again. He just went down on the triple. Look at all these guys coming in.
There's
7 dudes down in the corner together. 6, 7. Oh, and then
my God,
Devin Ryan at the inside just absolutely lays into some guys. All right, let's reset this because it's been chaos early on. T-Lang now into the race lead. Johnny Tsunami up in second place right now with Jeremy Schiabro third. Joey Carter fourth. That is a pretty tough top 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 punch to break through. But we'll see if Pablo Vial, the impact number 52, great number out here, rocking it up in the 5 spot, can get up there, make something happen. He's won a 450 main event before, folks, and he is Lag City right now, coming at you here for the impact program. So we'll see if he can get up there. D. Davis, Ryder Bednar, Caden Kepke, Caleb Hall, Max Wilczek, your top 10. Look at the lag on Pablo Vial right now. He's going to punt these guys.
It is such a classic from just like our years of playing this game where when you can see it, that's always been the rule too, Kellen. Ooh, there's a spot right there. Look, you see him drag it.
Schiabro.
When you can see it from the spectator view, that means it's 10 times worse while you're racing on the track. Just a heads up for you guys. So when we could see it that bad, it is hell to be around him on the racetrack. As Schiabro still goes for a quad, frames that, doesn't fall off though. So now resetting again. This is Pablo Vial in 4th, trying to pressure Joey Carter for a top 3 spot here. These guys do have a pretty big gap on Devin Davis, who's having a great ride in 5th. Just a little bit far off. So keep an eye on these guys. See if they can keep it on 2 wheels. The battle for the lead is tight too. Kellen Padani's going after T-Lang up here. So all these guys absolutely ripping right now.
Honestly, pretty crazy to see Padani in an LCQ. He is normally one of the faster straight up talents in this game these days, and him in an LCQ is different. Here's those different options. Triple in for T-Lang, double in for Padani. Ends with the triple out for T-Lang. Padani with the quad double into the corner. Which of those do you like better, Awood?
I like the triple out. Ooh, T-Lang had a slower run, but then gets on the rear wheel. I like the triple out, even though it's off the 5-footer. It seems like you get some more speed in that corner to set up for the whoops. But as T-Lang right now, he's getting pulled just a little bit from Padani behind him. So very interesting to watch these guys kind of yo-yo around the track, and it'll be interesting to see that. The only thing is if you're going outside, you can leave the door open if someone is close enough to you in the section before. So I'm interested in seeing that for the rest of the night. And honestly, who went? Connor Lins? Did he go 4 3/4 earlier? Because maybe there's a 5 possible in that section once we see someone like Seth Carr out here. Let's watch this section again as Vial going outside. Triple in here. Big mistake by Joey Carter.
Oh, look at that. Quad over. Quad into the corner.
Out. There's the Bobby Big line.
That is the line we're going to be looking for the top dogs in these main races later on. Vial ran the fast lap of the race at a 48.7, and it looks like he's trying to rile up for another good one as he runs down Johnny Padani and Tyler Lang out front, coming to 2 laps to go by the looks of it. Oh, Vial getting sideways, and there goes that good lap, but hey, it's still time to run another good one. In fact, let's go on board with Pablo Vial and see what it looks like from his perspective on this racetrack. Ooh, that triple in looks saucy, trying to get into that little transition right there. Triple out of this corner, does it well. Padani down on the right side of the triple face right there. Weird spot to go down.
I think they're just all casing that triple out of the corner, and just it's hard even for the 450s. So if it's hard for them, someone like Padani's messing it up. Those 250 riders, now I know what they were going through earlier. Look at this little inside-outside action here.
Look at that. D. Davis to the outside now in a transfer spot. Padani is the one that has to do the work. D. Davis quadding up. Woo! Look at those old knees laying in that thing, no problem.
Yeah, when you hit a quad like that to the inside and you have to come into that bull corner at such a steep angle, it's hard to get stopped and turned around. Impressive riding right there by Devin Davis here. He's got a lot of guys hot on his heels. Final lap, though, next time around as the leaders are by. So all he has to do is hold on for one more, but he's got a lot of pressure from behind with Padani, Bednar, and Koepke who are pushing up.
Gonna get spicy. Double D in the final spot. Let's see what happens with Johnny Padani closing down that gap. Ryder Bednar's hoping they both combine and spontaneously combust in front of him. We'll see what happens. D. Davis to the outside, tripling in. Little double action all the way through that section for Padani. Inside for Ryder Bednar. He's trying something different. Padani, he's trying to quad up as some guys are down. Joey Carter was one of them that was down. D. Davis goes by. Now Padani's in the catbird seat. Here comes Ryder Bednar in the whoops. He's trying to get a good run and get to the inside. Padani blocks it off. Now it's going to be a drag race down this straightaway. T-Lang and Vial up front, getting this job done. Let's see if Bednar, he's going to go to this outside. Does he make it work? Padani rips the inside. He's going to go to the main events here tonight with a 4th place finish in this LCQ. D. Davis goes through. Vial, T-Lang into the main event. That was close, but in the end, it is still Padani in P4.
Yeah, Bednar, I think, could have gotten close if he got that step up into that off-camber corner a little bit cleanly, but when you rail that inside as fast as Johnny Padani did, there's not really much that you can do about that. So, man, what a freaking amazing race right here by these guys. So much carnage on the first lap, though. I feel bad for some of these guys because I think it was, look, 5 laps down, they quit. Jackson Lindsay, Noah Bendis, Buddy Parker, all these guys, I feel like those are the ones who went down off the start and they're like, dude, I'm just over it. Like, I'm buried so far back. If you go down twice on the first lap, there's not really a chance that you could do that. But that was crazy. Also just got lag punted by someone. That was great to see. What an amazing race, though. Tyler Lang, Vial, Devin Davis, congratulations, and Johnny Padani, congratulations on making it through. Ryder Bednar, just short.
Just short indeed for Mr. Bednar, Schiabro, Joey Carter, Caden Koepke, Caleb Hall, Chase Blakely, and the rest all headed to the cheap seats.
So, in real life, what do they do if the Triple Crown is like full mutter? Like, as far as having bikes and parts and doing that stuff and like the turnaround times, are they going to do a double crown?
I did hear that today, that there is a chance it goes to 2 races. Basically, nice. what needs to happen this weekend is Supercross got on NBC Live for the first hour of their 3-hour show. So the reason it's even a Triple Crown
is so that they can have, here's the main guy.
Exactly. They wanted 2 main races on the NBC time slot for that first hour. I think once they do that, then they can pivot. Maybe they go to just a 2-moto format or something along those lines.
Give them like 40 minutes in between to wash your bike.
Because they do have 2 bikes, and that's fine. They can switch to that second bike for the second moto or whatever. But the real problem is then your mechanic goes down to the line. The other bike needs to get cleaned up. If you have any damage to that other bike, then that bike needs to be changed, engine, all that stuff like that. So they're not going to have a lot of time to do all of that stuff in between the races. So, we'll see.
It's hard with like privateers though too, because you're like, you only got one guy, something happens. Like, I mean, normally you would still have a heat and a main though, so you're still dealing with that in a mud race. So I do think double crown is what I was thinking.
I mean, I stand by the fact that until we see what happens race day, like, leave it as is, because it's not raining too much in Cleveland at the moment. They're building the track though as we speak, which is kind of the tough part. So even a little bit of rain while they're building the track is kind of going to totally screw the track, because it's going to be built soft, which means it's going to stay soft. It's not going to pack in very much.
Also different sections too, because I saw a section that looked pretty good being built, and then Corey dragging over the plastic, and I'm like, that section looked fine. And then, but maybe you get to the other half of the track and you got one section, but maybe you do the whoops with that, and then they can do like the moguls or little rollers and stuff like that. So
so
I think it'll end up pretty good. I mean, mothers aren't normally that bad, but
and I mean, I don't think it's going to rain too much Saturday. Like, more of the rain is supposed to come Friday, and I'm pretty sure that the press day stuff is already canceled because of that. So they're going to try to keep it tarped as long as possible, and just hope it works out. It's also a day race, so on top of that, maybe if we get a little bit favorable conditions and the sun comes out a little bit, that dries stuff out quicker. You just never know. But I think for right now, they're just going to leave it as a Triple Crown and hope it goes out that way.
Day races are so lame. Oh my god, I'm so glad you backed me up on that, on Blair Mathis.
Day races suck.
They're horrible. The first year I went to Nashville, I was like, oh, first day race, let's see how this is. A day race in the dome, cool, fine. You still have lasers and fireworks. But they did smoke bombs, and they were like pink and yellow and green, and then it was just covered in smoke the whole time.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, folks, it's time to go racing here in Cleveland. First race of the night. It is 250 race 1, 10 minutes plus a lap. 3 of these coming at you. It's the Triple Crown in Cleveland. Let's go racing. Taking a look at Jake Spieth on the 15. He's going to get swallowed up as Matherly to the inside on the 1 is going to get the stats guy. Oh, shit. Matherly out front with McLaughlin and Tharp up in the 3 spot right behind him. Tharp gets shoved wide, but it's Matherly leading here on lap number 1.
Yeah, so the earlier Cade's starts have been hot since he came back, and he's running that one, not in the championship, but showing us that he's still got it when he's out here. So trying to put a little gap on these guys. Braden Tharp had dropped back to 5th behind him, but Cade is trying to pull away from McLaughlin and Rogers, who's also been getting really good starts. I feel like Rogers could be a sneaky spoiler in this championship too during this Triple Crown. And look at that drive through the whoops.
Look at that inside line already on McLaughlin, not able to get there just yet. Meanwhile, Tharp dealing with Gummison there in the background. Jake Spieth's terrible start, 15th place. Fortunately for him, because it is that Triple Crown format, he has got plenty of time to try to make up the positions in this race. And even if he doesn't get the best position in this race, plenty of time in those 2 races coming up after that. First time we're seeing those guys jumping over the start straight as Tanner Rogers is going to get by McLaughlin, who jumped off the track. Tharp closing up on him. 3-second lead already for Cade Matherly. But I feel like if you're Braden Tharp, you're feeling pretty good about your situation with Jake Spieth down the order.
Yeah, Tanner Rogers, I mean, you saw him jumping across that start straight there. And I think this is just what I said. Like, I want to see how that triple before the Supercross triple goes. These guys just are a little bit better at carrying corner speed and just a little bit better at everything. Oh, what a wild ride through the whoops there by Braden Tharp. But yeah, interesting to see if that's an alternate line that these guys are using. And I mean, honestly, the more lines these guys are using, the better for me.
Yep, so Tharp navigating here in 3rd place behind Tanner Rogers. Gummison's fresh out of the LCQ in 4th with Seth Crotty rounding out our top 5. Good ride for him as well. McLaughlin jumped off the track but did not go down. He gets going back in the 6th spot ahead of Ryan Rich in 7th. Ryan Cheesecake Chowsey in the 8th spot with Elliot Person in 9th. And Jake Spieth now up into the 10th position. So charging forward, what would be a good position if you're Spieth to end up in this race so you don't totally blow your night?
I think if he could get top 5, that'd be great. I think if you go 5-1-1, 5-1-2, you're still going to pretty much be on the podium or damn near close to it. So I think he's doing a great job. Last I looked, he was down in 15th. Now he's up in the 10th. So he's already doing a great job working his way up through the field, even after a bad start. And that's where these Triple Crowns, I don't think it's going to sway the points too much unless someone has a catastrophic race. And it might have to be either really early in the race, going down like 3 times on the first lap, or somehow really late in the race where they're not as spread out. But who knows, man? I think he's looking great right now, and I think he can work his way up to 5th.
Catching a good group of guys right here, already onto the back of Elliot Person, and Ryan Chowsey just ahead of him as he almost went through the front door right there. Had to check up and double single into the corner. So battles galore happening through the pack, but maybe the best one on track right now is the one starting to size up for the 2 spot. Well, as I say that, Tharp is going to make a huge mistake and come up short. He was closing on Tanner Rogers. Now a bit of a gap established there, and a mistake for Seth Crotty allows Gummison back by. These are the Boots House teammates battling it out for 4th and 5th right now. And don't look now, Noah McLaughlin's coming with them. Ryan Rich right there with Ryan Chowsey pushing up behind him. This is a good little freight train right here. Basically 4th on back, still nose to tail.
Yeah, Chelsea got some good speed. He had a bad ride last weekend, but we know he's definitely got it as he makes a small mistake there. Is going to give up the spot to Elliot Person as he goes by. But these guys, honestly, a lot of speed right here in a really tight pack. But that's really good if you're someone like Jake Spieth, who's right behind Ryan Chelsea here. And we just saw how close these guys are ahead of him. So when you're sitting there and you're getting spotted, you know that the position you want to get to is really not that far away on the track.
Oh, Ryan Rich had made a mistake, comes up short on that double. Jake Spieth triples on by in the background to get through, and Spieth still going for this triple line right here. I think he wants to quad, but he's not carrying enough momentum to get the job done. And Chelsea now makes the pass on McLaughlin. He's still right behind Elliott Person as they're bouncing their way through the whoops. Spieth is still sitting right behind these guys. Oh, but he's down at the end of the whoops. Don't know how he ended up going down right there. Must have just got sideways and over the bars, huh?
Yeah, I think he was crashing through the end of the whoops and just ended up rolling because they kind of disappeared. But this is big for the championship, Kellen. Every time he loses some spots, he's just going further and further back. And luckily it is a Triple Crown, but you don't want to see him keep falling back. You only have a 1 point lead over your title championship fight, I guess, that you're in. So even if he finishes second and Braden Tharp finishes first, you're still losing 2 points. So not too big, but man, this is going to be hard for him to finish second the way that we're watching Cade Matherly and Tanner Rogers ride, as well as Tharp up front. But man, Jake Spieth, looking good right here. Going through this, going inside double, triple, quad, double, trying to hit the smooth lines that are smooth and consistent for him, and looking good right now.
Sorry, I just was fixing something. Forgot to update the graphic before we started, but yes, it is Jake Spieth now up to 11th. Meanwhile, up front, Tharp just laid it down after running fastest lap of the race. Just had put down a really, really good time at a 49.664, then ended up going down. So now Tanner Rogers has broken free. He's trying to run down Cade Matherly at the front. Elliott Person is charging forward. He just got around Jared Gummison, and Chelsea's still lurking there in the background. So how about Person coming through the field quite well? But this battle for the lead is tightening up, man. I don't think Matherly thought that Tanner Rogers would come up on him late in this race like this, but Rogers is definitely cooking down to about a second for the gap.
Yeah, definitely. Tanner Rogers has been showing a little bit of speed. Cade was kind of just pulling away and checking out for a little bit there. I think once he made that mistake, Tanner Rogers kind of smelt blood in the water, and he's able to wick it up. Also, I do think as these tracks start to wear down, you see these ruts develop in the corners. Some of these guys really like it. Seth Carr is a big guy in the 450 class for it, but Tanner Rogers may be able to carry a little bit more corner speed and just a little bit more speed everywhere else, where Cade looked really good when the track was fresh and flat. So now he's got some competition. You can just slowly see Tanner Rogers inching into the back of the screen a little bit more every section.
Yeah, lap traffic now going to come into play just a little bit in the final 3 minutes plus one lap of this race as Matherly works his way through the whoops, and here is a group of a couple of them just coming up the road. Brandon Nygren, Nick Thomas-Sunis, Tyler Moore are the first three he will hit, and Tanner Rogers is going to sense that opportunity and try to close the gap down. Rogers actually going to the outside in the off-camber right there, and I would go on board with them, but they don't have a first-person JM, so we'll jump back off-board and see that the gap is now opened up to about 2 seconds, so maybe stabilizing just a bit right there. Meanwhile, not stabilizing is this battle back here. McLaughlin Dooley side by side with Ryan Chelsea. Chelsea's going to force the issue, make that pass happen. Now he's trying to go get Jared Gummison to get up inside the top five, and while all these guys continue to battle each other, Spieth is starting to close the gap down in the background as he lands off that triple.
Yeah, Spieth's still sitting behind all these guys, though, so he needs something to happen. I do think it is good when you have a pack of three like this battling. There's a higher chance someone going down or them getting into each other, so it can make you feel a little bit better, as there's a big mistake right there by Gummison as he cases a jump in the middle of that rhythm section. Loses one spot, then goes over the bars and collects. So Spieth's just got a twofer right there.
You see Seth Crotty split the difference right there between those guys? I don't know how he didn't get collected in that chaos, but he was able to stay up and get into 7th place. Jake Spieth, the definite beneficiary there, goes up into 6th. So he's almost into that top 5 spot, like you mentioned. Now Gummison and his teammate Crotty going back and forth. They're going to be side by side over the finish line jump.
Yeah.
A little bit of dualies
battle
right
for
there
lead.
For them. Oh, battle for the lead up front. Yeah, here we go. Rogers has caught him, and he's going to try to triple by him. Matherly's off rhythm right here. Cases the quad. Matherly to the inside, holds position as Nick Thomas-Sunis just goes right over the Davalos
Best
nails at the
slapper
top
ever.
of the berm, getting out of the way. Man, Rogers got to him quick. I thought Matherly had reestablished the lead, but Rogers said, "No, thank you, I'm coming."
Yeah, I saw a small mistake, I think, and it was only half a second between them. Look at this, going outside here, is able to get it pretty cleanly. Doesn't really gain too much time, I don't think, or lose it. So I think it's just kind of even between these two, both going to this inside line here. Triple, and we have people in the chat saying that this triple out right here is absolutely huge. Tanner Rogers thought he was going to case it right there, but look how close these guys are riding side by side. Shout out Kelso.
Look at this battle, man. Rogers is trying to get there. Look at He crosses over just a little bit, I feel like. Did Matherly on Rogers? Does Rogers force the issue here? No, he's just going to jump back in line behind him, trying a different line in the whoops down the right side. This time he's getting sideways and he's down. Oh, that different line just did not work. And it is over before we really got it started.
The problem was you can almost see at the beginning of the whoops, the road is kind of flattening it out in that main line. And when he went over to the right, I think it's maybe a couple different lines there. Just, it's so different for him. And yeah, he started getting huckabuck real early on in that whoop section. Bummer to see him go down. He's only 1 second ahead of Braden Tharp, though, so that could be very important position for Braden Tharp to gain back, as Jake Spieth has made a mistake, falling back to 8th place here. So Cade Matherly and Braden Tharp and Tanner Rogers doing a really good job to keep stacking those points for the championship, but also those guys playing spoiler, and Jake Spieth has had a pretty horrendous main event here so far. He's going to have to regroup in the next two.
The ultimate spoiler, though, is this man, Cade Matherly. White flag about to come out, and he has come alive these last few weeks. Nowhere really to be seen, it seemed like, in the first half of this championship, and it's really cost him a chance to repeat as your 250 East champion in 2026. But he looks fired up to go win these races, man, and another old version of himself. A hole shot, gets a lead established, battles it out for a little bit, but now he's got 9 seconds on this final lap, A-Wood, and he looks like he is back in the zone again.
Yeah, he is. I really wish... The problem about this game is we don't really know too much about like the personal backgrounds between the riders, because I almost want to know like what his deal was at the beginning of the year, right? He missed some races, was just kind of off. You know, if you got a job or school or whatever is kind of stopping you from being able to ride at that top level, because obviously Cade still has it, as we've seen the last 2 weeks. And it's just kind of a bummer that we haven't had him here all year, because he could either be dominating this thing or just in that battle with these two.
He is back into his dominating form, no question about it. Here it is, race 1 in Cleveland for the Triple Crown goes to Cade Matherly as he takes the win. Tharp did get by Rogers, who crashed on that final lap of the race. He's going to get second. Chelsea all the way up to third. Rogers back to fourth. Frank Jackson has slipped into the top 5 around Elliot Person and Jared Gummison. Noah McLaughlin still ahead of Jake Spieth. So Spieth, who had made it up into the top 5, now a bit of a late mistake. He's actually going to get 8th because Gummison was down at the end of the whoop. So Spieth goes by for 8th. Ben Nerona goes right behind him. Looks like he's going to get 9th, or he gets stacked up in the Dovlos bales. Ryan Rich, Jared Gummison, side by side, and Gummison blows the corner and goes down. Who's that going by right there? Cody Wells is trying to make the pass. Ryan Rich holds on for a top 10. Wells gets him on cuts. Lawson Dye, Jared Gummison, Nygren, all these guys down the order. Chaotic first race of the night, as your winner for race 1 is Cade Matherly.
That was crazy. Poor Gummison, too. Ends up being the last one on the lead lap after trying to dive up the inside right there. Cade Matherly with an amazing ride here. Ah, man. That was awesome. Lane, you are so funny in chat. I'll cool it with the job word, all right? It's scary once you got to get one of those things. Shout out K Nasty SDS subscribing for, is that 15 months? Let's go. That's my GOAT. All of you guys, remember, thank you guys for coming out here and supporting our streams week in and week out. If you guys do have a Amazon Prime subscription and you have a free Twitch Prime sub, we would gladly take it. All you guys watching over there on Twitch. But thank you guys for coming week in and week out, being here, supporting us as we're moving on over to the 450 class. And this is going to be interesting to see what can Braden Carter do? What can Seth Carr do? It is a Triple Crown, so we do have 3 races back to back to back that matter. So having good starts is going to be very important here. So going to be interesting to see it. Can Braden Carter nail down those starts? Is Seth Carr going to get them? Are we going to see Spencer Turley just dominate tonight? Who knows?
Who knows indeed, man. Turley domination would be world class, I'll tell you what. Hey, shout out to Nasty SDS subbing up with his tier 1 sub. 15 months subbed up here over on the Twitch channel. So thank you so much, Nasty. He says, y'all, the goats are putting this on for us, but you are the real goat for supporting us. Still trying to figure out, by the way, a plan for motocross for us. Obviously for me, I'm trying to make it financially make sense, but also time-wise, just because I am going to be actually flying to 6 of the nationals this year, and the way that it works with flying to nationals, it's a lot trickier than Supercross because you're not in a city and you got all this extra travel that you have to do. So might end up kind of screwing me for even being able to stream some of the nationals, but we're trying to figure out a game plan. So for those that keep asking that question, we will update you soon on when we know further about whether or not we'll be able to get a few of the natties in this year. But right now, still 4 Supercrosses to go.
My plan goes well. Hopefully I can do some solo streams from my house. Do that. And Dooley streams. Do some Discord, some OG. Get in the server and follow around.
Yep.
Then we can get lit.
Staying home and everyone having a good time.
Because I don't have to drive 45 minutes.
Oh, boy.
We'll be doing shots for Doolies all summer long if that happens.
Goodness. All right, here we go, folks. It's time to drop the gate for the 450 boys.
Shout out Whisker Biscuit.
Shout out Whisker Biscuit, indeed. 450 class coming at you here in Cleveland. Triple Crown race number 1. The tensions are high. The championship's still on the line. Can they get any points clawed back? It's time to find out. Let's go.
Carr has a really inside gate.
Gets pinched a little bit. He's going to have a bad start into turn number 1. Braden Carter's trying to get the hole shot. Stats guy hole shot. Braden Carter T-laying out of the LCQ to the outsides with him, but up the inside, almost getting into second place momentarily, is Colby Eaglin. Cases the triple, 3 wide over the Supercross triple with Seth Carr to the outside. He got a good start as well. He's trying to triple. Oh, watch this out. Check out with Eaglin to the inside versus outside. Carr to the outside, jumps by. Oh, we might be in for a good one here with Carr up into second place on this opening lap.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. We got the defending champion. We got a past champion in Tyler Lang, right? Outdoor champion. Seth Carr and Braden Carter, all the heavy hitters, all single digits in the top 4 positions. And this is the battle that we want to see when we came here tonight. Awesome, great start by Braden Carter. He must have been working on something, and it's going to be interesting to see where these guys kind of use the big lines that they have, if they can hit them all consistently or if they can only pull them out when they get something cleanly, because I do think that a couple of those big lines can gain these guys like a couple tenths, if not half a second in each section.
Yeah, it's going to be a difference maker, especially if you can hit this triple quad line down this back rhythm section lap after lap. It looks like Seth Carr's got it dialed this time around. Doesn't go any longer or shorter than he needs to as he launches into the corner. And the whoop speed we know for these top dogs, unbelievable, as they're already starting to open up that gap just a little bit on defending champion Colby Eaglin. And Seth Carr is all lined up trying to run down Braden Carter for the race lead. I think we might be in for a good one here, A-Wood.
This feels like, ooh, I don't like the look of that whip. Seth Carter looks scary. 48.0 to a 47.8 that Braden Carter ran ahead of him. So these guys are only 2 tenths apart, and I think that's going to stay pretty close all race long. I would love to see if these guys both can just kind of keep it on 2 wheels and just do a hot lap battle for the next 10 minutes of this race. Looks like it's kind of going that way right now. Here's the onboard of that triple quad over the table, clips it, has to pull back, goes about 3.5 there. And look at that. Let's see that timer. 0.9 to 1.0. Only loses about a tenth or 2 there as Seth Carr goes through, but making that big mistake. But man, this is fun to watch. Yeah. I just love watching him chase down Braden Carter.
And these mistakes that both of them just had, Eaglin actually closed up a little bit, but then Carr closed it up to a half second going over the finish line jump, and now it is going to be Carter versus Carr at the front. We have waited many a times this year to see these two have a mano-a-mano battle, and it could be on here in Cleveland. Carr versus Carter, the young buck, the new stallion on the stable here, trying to get up and battle with the KG veteran, the winningest Supercross rider in this game's history, the 4-time champion, Braden Carter. He's the savvy vet now, but can he hold on as both of them make a mess of this again? And Eaglin's starting to tighten it up by hitting that lap after lap behind them.
It is awesome because I said the track didn't feel like there was too much, but I was hoping that rhythm section had some options and made it interesting, and it definitely is who can nail that quad every lap here. Look at how close. Carr is doing so much better, not necessarily in the whoops, but out of it in the next corner and down that straight. Look how close he is on the rear of Braden Carter right here. They're both going to go triple here. Trying to carry as much speed. Carr stays a little bit lower, but then cases that triple out. Just looking at every little thing that can add hundreds of seconds to their lap times. Braden Carter going double, triple, single. This time he was tripling in there before. Small mistake right there on the triple in. Let's see who gets the quad.
They both get it this time, and they both get it cleanly as Eaglin's still nailing it in the background. Oh, Carter mistake entering the whoops, gets sideways, and Carr shoots by into the race lead. So now it's Carter's turn to do a bit of the chasing, and then Carr almost stacks it up coming onto the start straight. Look at Eaglin. Is he going to try to go for a move down the inside on his teammate? No. Carr just gets right back into the chase, and now Eaglin is right in the mix of this as well. Wanted to give a quick answer to a question in chat. Chevy Freak wants to know, with the erode, does it cause ruts in between the jumps or is it just in the corners? It's everywhere. It is on the jump faces. It is in those corners. Really, the corners is where it comes through the most, but you'll see at the end of the whoops, that's where those guys plowing into that double jump face after the whoops, it'll kind of build out some really good ruts into the corner right there. So you might see a couple guys get caught out by that late in this one. It resets every time the server resets, so that's the unfortunate thing, is that we don't get to keep the erode from race to race, but it is going to be gnarly by the end of this 450 race 1.
Yeah, it's easier when someone goes down in the whoops or just after, and we can kind of pause and you can see it, but you'll start to see how much it gets broken in the whoops and that double after. Definitely the most that you can see the lines up the face. Look at this, Seth Carr right on the rear, Braden Carter again going inside, little baby doolies. Don't look now, Kellen. Right behind this, or not right behind these guys, but Wyatt Grant and Cash Woods, the two guys that were from the 250 class, are up in 4th and 5th here. So they're having great showings again. But man, we cannot take our eyes off this battle. This is just legend versus legend.
Carter to the inside is going to try the double option. Carter cases the triple to the outside, ends up in the same line as Carr out front, and Seth Carr has taken the race lead this time through. Not yet halfway into this race, but it's the 6 with the red plate. Back to the race lead.
Yeah, I mean, fastest lap of the race last time around. He's carrying so much more speed out of that bull corner. We saw him slide out and make that mistake that let Carter back by. But when he does get to keep it on 2 wheels, he's yanking Carter down that start straight as he comes out of that corner. So keep an eye on that as you guys... Oh, look at those gaps.
Mistake again, and he ends up in the other lane this time. He's going to have to rejoin the track quite awkwardly, but does hold on for the 2 spot as Wyatt Grant a little bit further back. Eaglin looks like he may have gone down. He's now out of this battle, moves the 27 of Grant up into that 3 spot. But man, Carr, I think the problem is he's riding so fast and loose that when it does go wrong, it could go wrong big.
Yeah, and I think that he's normally really good at riding the ruts in the corners and becoming a little bit faster, carrying him some more speed. But we always talk about his setup looks a little bit looser than some of the other people's. So when he does get caught out by something, it kind of flicks you around more and is faster to put you on the ground. But look how rutted that section is getting too, bouncing into that inside line. It is building up like a wall, so easier for them to actually hit that rut. But Seth Carr now back on his horse, got to try the hot lap. Braden Carter 3 seconds faster that lap around after that mistake. But still just these two up front.
Yep, Carter now lapping Spencer Turley, so we're up into 18th place for what these guys are lapping. There's still 5 minutes plus a lap of this race to go, and these guys have certainly opened it up as Turley lays it down in the background. Want to give a shout to Johnny Padani from the LCQ up into 4th place here in this one. Great ride for the 33, salvaging some great championship points here tonight in race number 1 of the Triple Crown. Jeremy Siebold now rounds out our top 5 with Eaglin slipping back to 6th after that crash that we mentioned. He's got Tyler Shovey right behind him in 7th on the 64, so a good ride for him as well. Looks like Eaglin just made the pass on Siebold by nailing the quad before the whoops, but I just do not want to miss this lead battle because Carr is starting to light it up again. Just went 47.2 that last time by, which was the new fastest lap of the race. Again, just running quick times and trying to run down his teammate out front.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm like, there's so many more battles we could probably look at, but as long as these guys have it under 2 seconds, every little mistake matters. So we just got to keep an eye on them, and especially because the championship is kind of just out of it. There's not really anything. We're watching the championship leader, and we're watching his strongest competition in Braden Carter. So interesting to see these guys. Look at that corner speed, man. He is so fast.
I'm surprised. I feel like Carter just being behind him for a couple turns there would have maybe learned a couple things about what he's doing on the start straight, but it doesn't seem to make any difference whatsoever. Carr can just reel him back in at will, it seems. And now with 3.5 minutes on the clock still to go, Carr just lays in another new fastest lap at a 47.320. So that one does check in. Must have been off track in the other one why it didn't count. But this one does actually light up our boards. And another mistake for Carter. He's going to double to the inside. Carr has the advantage if he can get this triple quad. Let's see if it is for the race lead. He's going to land in transition. Quad up into the corner, and this time it works. Seth Carr to the race lead around Braden Carter again.
That's insane how much speed or how much time that actually makes up. I was interested to see the difference because Carter got into that section so much quicker than he did, but just absolutely got gapped by almost a whole jump length at the end there. So crazy for Carter to lose so much, but that's just one small mistake that just shows these guys have to be on it, especially when they're just trying to go out and hot lap. Carr looks a little bit better here tonight. Braden Carter, we obviously know he has the top end speed, but he hasn't been able to put a lap time within half a second of what Carr has done multiple times here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it shows right there. Leaders last time, 47.7 versus Carter putting down a 49.1. Little mistakes right there starting to add up against Braden Carter as he's trying to get this thing figured out. Carr now nailing that quad lap after lap, looking good, even getting sideways in the whoops, but it doesn't matter. He's able to corral it together by the end. Now the question is, 2.5 minutes still to go in this race. Do lappers factor into this at all? Because Carr's still got to work through a lot of these guys, and they're starting to get even better positions on the racetrack as well. And these guys all have something to fight for in this race.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is pretty one-lined, especially when I guess in the big rhythm section, you can kind of move around there, but trying to get this triple out or something, you're able to get that 450 power to the ground if you're Seth Carr, but it could hurt you if you're looking in some sections like this, whether you can go triple or you have to switch it up, maybe go inside or outside here. You don't want to run into the back of someone. So lappers can matter, but I don't think it's going to be too much. Maybe unless you're going to quad up on the back of someone leaving that section. Man, I don't even know.
My guy Moto in chat right now says Triple Crown overalls as they run. Carr, Carter, Grant. Thank you. Yeah, good update.
Thank you.
Actually,
points as they run. And now it's Padani. Be better, Lane.
Carr is pulling away now, 3 seconds to the good, and he is going to need one more mistake, will Braden Carter, if he wants to win race number 1. Yeah, another shout to Johnny Padani, though. He has clawed his way into a podium position. He brought Colby Eagland with him, and Jeremy Seabolt as well. So Wyatt Grant was up there in 6th, or in 3rd. He's now back to 6th. Whoa, who's going through the front door or going to the finish line jump right there? Someone just seat bounced to death in the background. Couldn't quite see who that was. Maybe it was Hayden Stevenson. Not too sure.
Sort of the lapper.
But Carter's actually, he's inch closer. Devin Davis hopping in from off the track. Look at the whoop speed right there for Carter. Okay, so he's got something figured out a little bit. As Carr gets around that little group of lappers, coming to 2 to go, and he misses the inside rut. Carter, and he's blocked to the outside. Carr gets blocked by the down number 64 of Tyler Shovey, and he had nowhere to go. Carter gets it right back. He's still dealing with Ash during the lap down, but he's at least back into the race lead.
I mean, that's so difficult. You came to the tightest section on the track, and he had 4 riders kind of in front of him. He tried to avoid a little bit, made a small mistake, and then just got kind of stuck and blocked where he was at on that off camber. And that's just how it goes to show you how one small mistake right there. Even if, maybe he needed to slow up just a little bit and kind of funnel along the inside. Ooh, look at that, quadding out, and now you're into Spencer Turley, another lapper. Inserting himself into the race, not his fault, but just wheelies and powers down, goes faster through those whoops from a dead stop than I ever could. And man, this race is becoming crazy because it's such a tight racetrack and kind of one line that these lappers are starting to get in the way. And we have the white flag coming out. So one more lap and Braden Carter can take this thing. Seth Carr 1.8 seconds back.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Carr is still trying to get going on this final lap, and we know that speed that he possesses, especially in the whoops, it is certainly not over. Carter has to hit all of his marks on this final lap of the race. Race 1 of 3 on the Triple Crown here at Cleveland, and we are getting a good one between the 2 title combatants. Carter makes a little bit of a mistake, still triples, gets the quad perfectly transitioned, but Carr is coming, man. He's going to quad up into that corner. Carter on the rear tire trying to carry speed through the whoops, just rips through them. Carr still is going to be right there by the end of them, and we know the corner speed is good. Down this straightaway, one more time, final corner. Carter's got to get this inside rut cleanly. He does. Carr is right there to the flag. Braden Carter wins race 1 of the Triple Crown. Seth Carr double pits to Chesty over the finish line jump for 2nd, and Eagland did claw his way back to 3rd to make it a District Designs 1, 2, 3 in race 1 between our 3 title contenders. Boy, did they ever deliver here in race 1.
Yeah, we don't always get to see that. That's why we kept the camera on them the whole time. Wyatt Grant right there trying to jump over Luke Sullivan, Siebel, all those guys, or No, that was Jeremy Siebel, lap rider. Padani, Siebel, and Grant, though, all finished within 2 seconds for those 3 spots, 4, 5, and 6. Sullivan back here trying to finish this thing up, get himself across the line. Seth Shirley was right behind him trying to get as close as he can. He's not able to get there, and Vial follows him. Just a Cowie freight train right there to round out the lead riders on that lap, and Brandon Cocroft comes across in 10th place.
Yep, Cocroft finishes inside the top 10. Shout out to him. What a race these guys just had, though. That was awesome between the two of them. And we get 2 more of these tonight. Look at those whoops, by the way. Holy smokes. Look at
so
them
that's
things.
why they were able to go so fast, because they just click 5th, and those first like 4 or 5 are flat. But it's crazy to me how much like G'd out. There were so like 6 different ruts in the last ones. Yeah, we almost need to like, that's what we need to do next 450 races. Just go into the free cram and just go look around the track really quick. Awesome though, man. We haven't seen a race that close between those two in so long. Them both getting an amazing start. Braden Carter, shout out for the dub. Able to take advantage of that. Obviously, small mistake with lappers for Seth Carr, but you got to put yourself in that position to be able to take advantage of it. His girlfriend's here in chat cheering him on. She's unable to be with him, but she's always showed up for our stream. So shout out Alexandra.
Yeah, I think they just celebrated 2 years together too. So golf claps all around. Very nicely done. Yeah. It's tough to be an esports legend and have a committed relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to decide.
You got to decide. But Braden's doing both, man. Gets the win there in race 1. All right, now we get to roll into race 2 of the 250s. It's coming at you quick here tonight. I want to give a couple quick shout-outs to OGX Steezy, subbing up with his Prime sub over on Twitch, as well as Gotta Smoke 'em, also using his Prime sub over on Twitch. So shout-out to those fellas coming through in the clutch and joining us over on our Twitch channel. But yeah, race 2 coming at you. Matherly, the win in race 1, the win at Nashville last week, still on a roll right now. It's almost to the point now where do we start asking the question, can somebody stop Cade Matherly because he's been looking so good?
His starts have been really good too. It's crazy is unless he's getting in between, he's not really hurting the championship that much. I guess you're taking that 3-point difference from first to second, where they're only getting the 2-point difference from like second to third. So he is playing a little bit of spoiler in Tharp's case. So Tharp needs to go out there and try to beat him. Right now, though, Jake Spieth just needs to try to recover from whatever the hell just happened that last race. But yeah, I think Cade's going to be my favorite in this race for the whole shot and the race win with how he's been looking.
All right, so can Cade Matherly make it 2 for 2 to start off his night? We're going to be looking to see if he can do it. In fact, let's go find him on the start gate and see how he comes out this time around. He is down up the inside alongside Ryan Chelsea. Who gets the whole shot? It's race 2 coming at you. Not a better start this time for Matherly. He's going to get swallowed up, and Chelsea's got a good one. Also, one of the Cowies up there to the inside. It's Frank Jackson up the inside, gets the stats guy. Whole shot, Chelsea in second. Quentin Hallam in third. Up the inside, actually going to move into second place. And a couple of bit of bad starts for Spieth and Tharp this time, as Hallam goes for the double over the triple face, but Jackson leads on lap number 1.
Yeah, Hallam straight from the LCQ, now running second here in the second main event of the night, but Jackson on that green Team Nami Kawasaki. Looking good, looking like a bumblebee out front, or like a storm. I don't even know.
Stormtrooper.
Something weird. No, like a yellow Power Ranger or something.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
yeah, something like that.
Fox
Frank Jackson wheeling down the start straight. Quentin Hallam right behind him. Brandon Nygren and Chelsea. Ooh, look at that small mistake by the leader. Yep. These 4 are kind of checked out. Must have been another big crash. So many guys have been going down that second corner today. Just unable to back off, trying to hit this big line. When they come on, they'll go double, triple, single, and it causes a lot of carnage, but that's Hallam to the lead.
Jackson, a mistake on that triple allows Quentin Hallam into the race lead, and now Hallam's going to try to hold steady with the 28 machine right behind him. Nygren's right there tucked in behind as well. Little mistake for Hallam as though, oh man, they almost came together, doubling to the inside against each other. Now a mistake for Jackson, almost stacks it up on the triple. He still goes for the quad and gets it. Hallam scrubs into the corner, stacks it up in the Davlos bales, loses 4 positions, 5 actually, as Matherly goes down the inside to get into 4th place. And your new leader's Frank Jackson. He's down at the end of the whoops, and he's going to hand it over to Brandon Nygren on the 94. So it's Nygren from Chelsea. Matherly shoots into 3rd place. It's all kicking off here on lap 2.
So Matherly up into third. Honestly, I would like to see him just keep working his way forward. This kind of title hunt update. Braden Tharp back in 12th place, but Jake Spiess in this one. Oh, did he go down?
Yeah,
he's down in
he's back
13th too, because he was ahead of him. I was going to say good for Jake Spiess to get a good ride, but now he fell right behind Braden Tharp. So both these guys, Tharp is in the catbird seat. Matherly obviously looking good to get the overall as it stands where he's at right now through these first two, but still not good. He wants to work his way up through and start gaining some more points so no one snipes him on the podium.
Another guy who's in position overall-wise that's looking sharp right now is Ryan Chousey. He's going to be in the mix for this thing after third in race one. Of course, Matherly picked up the dub, so he's still right there as well. But Chousey wants a piece of Brandon Nygren for the race lead. 94 versus 26 with the 1E hanging out in the background as we go on to lap number 4. Still 7 minutes and a lap left of this race to go. How about Brandon Nygren leading this thing? What do you think of his prospects out front on the 94 machine?
He's looking great, but he's got Chousey all over him, who's been off his form recently, and he's looks like he's going to try to come up and make a pass here soon. But if these guys battle, as we had, oh no, timing just messed up. Matherly is still back there, but as these guys battle, I think they're going to slow each other down. Nygren looking great, though. I mean, still hitting this quad every lap, but I just think pure pace, these guys just don't have it as much. They can maybe finish in second or third, but I think Matherly's going to come up.
Chousey thinks of an inside move on Nygren, but Nygren rips the outside and holds steady, so Chousey has to go back to the drawing board. I saw a jump line even forming in the whoop section that time by for the number 26 machine in second place, and on to another lap we go. It's still Nygren from Chousey, Matherly, Elliott Person, Quentin Hallam inside the top 5 right now. Jake Spiess has crawled into 10th with Tharp. Another mistake falling down the order. So we'll check in on our championship contenders soon. But man, the race for the lead is just getting good and gooder as the race goes on. I'll tell you what, Nygren looks like he might actually have a little bit of comfort zone right now. He's pulling away now from Ryan Chousey in the race lead.
Yeah, he got a gap. Mistake by Chousey is going to make him fall closer than Matherly. So Nygren gets a little bit of breathing room here. Let's see if he goes to that jump line again. Chousey in second place. We're seeing Nygren blitz. Must have been just a mistake. Oh, look at that. He's getting another good drive through the whoops. Now he's on the outside trying to carry more speed down. Isn't going to be able to get there. That's got to be a very aggressive pass. You have to be at least alongside the guy to make that move there as it pinches off and gets just a little tight. Look at this. Your top 3 all in the air on the same time over the finish line. Can Nygren hold on to this thing? Chousey's looking up the inside again.
Nygren definitely playing the defensive game now. He slammed the door shut on the start straight and made sure there was no room up the inside after the finish line jump for Chousey to get a nose in there. It's allowing Matherly into the fray. It's also allowing Elliott Person on the 82 up here as well, as we got 4 riders nose to tail coming into the rhythm section. Who's got the better drive through here? They're all going 2, 3, 4, 2 down this rhythm lane, and it's staying pretty status quo. It doesn't seem like anybody's got much of an advantage just yet. But here's Chousey down the inside of the whoops for the race lead, gets it wrong and goes down on the double out. He's off the bike and he brings down Elliott Person with him. So Matherly goes through in a second. Now it's his turn to go after Nygren, and Nygren survives yet another storm in the race lead.
Bummer for Person right there too. You think you're going up a spot and you just get collected as someone else goes cartwheeling. So Nygren's still holding on to this race lead. He's every time I think something's going to happen, he's able to just keep holding on, keeps nailing his rhythm sections wherever he needs to. Cade has not been able to capitalize yet, but these two are separating themselves from the field more and more every lap. And Nygren still going this double inside, so double, triple, quad, double line, and he's getting it every lap consistently. Even when he hangs a tire right there, he's still able to get it and hold off Cade Matherly, who looked unstoppable in that first race. Now Brandon Nygren's giving him all he can handle.
Yeah, Matherly's really got to try to figure out a way through. I thought maybe the whoops would be his opportunity, but now Nygren's kind of figured those out a little bit. Matherly outside in the off camber. Let's see if this works, trying to get onto that table and off. I don't think so, man. I think these 250s, little less power, so it's harder to carry that momentum around the outside, and inside just so quick on them to get in and out of the corner, get that double done before the finish line jump. I don't know that there's any time to gain by going outside there.
Yeah, because you're not really railing that outside the whole time, keeping your speed up. You have to pull out of it at least once towards the end of it. So it kind of makes it Ayo. It kind of makes it a little bit difficult for these 250s to get that power to the ground and get the drive on the tabletop. It seems like we've seen it work more in the 450 class. Not sure if Cade just wanted to not follow him. Oh, here's a drive through the whoops. Small mistake by Nygren. He's up the inside. Should be able to get the pass, but does he cut down?
Nygren squares the corner off, and it's a drag race to the other side of the stadium, but this time it's not good enough. Cade Matherly into the race lead, looking to go 2 for 2 here to start off the Triple Crown. Nygren's still right on his hip here, but Matherly, I think, might have a little bit of the speed advantage. So now that he's into the race lead, do you think he just takes off from here?
I do. I mean, he's got 3 minutes plus a lap to go, and I think he's just finally comfortable to be up front, running that number one. I think he's just going to start clicking off laps. Brandon Nygren had a great race so far, but I don't think that he's going to be able to kind of hold on to the tail of Cade Matherly and tow himself along. I think Cade's going to pull away just a little bit. Shout out Hallam, who just dropped out of third into fourth from the LCQ, and he's been riding great here in the second race. Just gave up the spot to Ryan Chelsea, but he's got Jake Spiess behind him, 4 seconds back, but Jake Spiess is right there in fifth, and Braden Tharp is behind Gummison. Gummison's in second. Braden Tharp is back in seventh, so that's your championship contenders right there. Tharp obviously though had a way better finish than Jake Spiess did in the first main event, so that's going to help him a lot. So I think Tharp needs to keep, or Spiess needs to keep working his way up as far as he can to kind of even get this thing close.
Yeah, he's got 4 seconds to get to Quentin Hallam, so it'll be a tough load to get there and actually make a pass. Meanwhile, though, Tharp isn't out of the woods either as he tries to go to work on Jared Gummison. He's got Mattis Merle still right behind him. So there's your points as they run. Matherly on 2, Chelsea on 6, Tharp on 9, Spiess on 13. So literally as it runs, if it stays this way into race 3, we would be tied after this race is over. Only 1 point being gained right now by Tharp as he is now almost alongside. Gummison makes a mistake. Mattis Merle is going to jump by him into that 7th position. That's another spot lost for Tharp. Meanwhile, another spot gained for Spiess. Quentin Hallam was down. He also brings out Jared Gummison as well. Tharp's going to get 2 more spots because Hallam was down. Gummison was down. He goes up to 6. Mattis Merle is now into the 5 spot on the number 125 Impact Kawasaki. So if you are Spiess, you've got some work still to do. Meanwhile, change for the lead. Cade Matherly has thrown it away at the front. He's not that far behind our race leaders still, but it is Nygren back to the front with Chelsea and Matherly still right in tow.
That felt a little aggressive. Throws it away out front, but he did. He was looking so good here. He's only 3 seconds back off the lead, but you know how hard he had to work to get past Nygren the first time. Time is not going to expire as Brandon Nygren comes around this time, so it will be 2 more laps to go. He's got Chelsea hot on his heels, and then you can see Cade Matherly right there in third. So Brandon Nygren, take a deep breath over the finish line. 2 more laps to go. That's all you have to do. Just keep hitting your marks. You've done it pretty much all race. Just one mistake in the whoops is what lost you that position in the first place. The number 94 machine on his Boots House Honda is looking amazing here.
Yeah, look at this. Coming to 1 lap to go next time by as time has now expired. Ryan Chelsea is right there, and you know he wants to try to win this as well, but he gets off rhythm, and he is going to have to go triple single into this corner. Nygren finally gets some breathing room here, and the white flag will be waving this time by. Can he hold on and win this race? Chelsea, great run through the whoops, clawed it back just a little bit more. Matherly still lurking there in the background. Don't want to forget as well, Spiess and Tharp might actually go at each other in the final lap of this race as well. They're only 1.5 seconds apart in 4th and 5th as the white flag waves. Can Brandon Nygren get the win here in race 2?
Yeah, this top 3 and the 3 after that are kind of in their own little battles, just tightening up here. Nygren's still looking good up front, just hitting his marks. As I almost commentator cursed him to the death. Please keep it on 2. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Double out right here. Hit your double in and hit your rhythm.
Doubles in, good.
I don't think he's going to get that triple, though.
No, he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
And he gets the quad as well. Chelsea is still right there. Matherly is pushing Chelsea. Oh, man. Nygren got sideways. He's doubling his way through the whoops. It's like a slow, painful race as Chelsea's right there still. Lappers galore. Coming down the start straight. Nygren on the rear tire gets to the other end of the stadium first. In and out of the inside rut here on the final lap of the race. And look at this. Chelsea tries to jump across. Brandon Nygren wins race 2 of the Triple Crown. Chelsea second, Matherly third. What a race. Look at this. Tharp gets by Spieth on the final lap of the race. He's going to get 4th. Spieth ends up in 5th. And Nerona right behind them in 6th. So even that was chaos coming to the line. How about a shout out to Mathis Merle, ends up in 7th. 8th for Gummison alongside Tanner Rogers coming over the line. And Quentin Hallam does round out our top 10. But what the heck was going on up front, man? Nygren, shot out of a cannon, wins race 2.
You know what's crazy? If Cade Matherly even got to the lead, he had like 2.5 seconds of cuts. He was only 7/10 back up there, finished 3.7 back of the lead. Actually insane. And then Jake Spieth and Braden Tharp after cuts were 29. That's 39. 39 hundredths of a second apart. 39 thousandths.
Yeah, because Tharp had cuts, so Spieth jumped back by him. So that's even going to help Spieth a little bit. Gets another point up on his championship rival. There's 4 positions between them in race 1 or 5. So
insane. Look at how close that is at the top left of your screen. 39 thousandths apart. That is crazy.
Wow.
What a ride. We've had some domination from Cade the first race. Showed some cracks in his armor, but Jake Spieth and Braden Tharp, Spieth had a bad one, a bad second one, able to come back. Tharp kind of had a bad second one. And that 450 race was absolutely insane from gate drop to checker flag. Going to be crazy if we can get another run just like that.
Yeah, incredible to see how that shook down. I'm trying to just get our Triple Crown points up here.
Well, so I can tell you that Braden Carter is in the lead right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Not 100%.
Awesome to see Boots House on top, though. The people in the chat are stoked.
Shout out Boots.
See their guy Brandon Nygren pick up a race dub there in race 2, and now we roll into 450 race number 2. Boy, we had a hell of a race between Carr and Carter in race 1. Carter comes out on top. Does he do it again in race 2?
It all comes down to the start for me. He's been iffy on the starts, so I honestly think Carr was the third gate in that last one. I kind of made a mention. I just didn't have enough time. Carr was on the third gate. Braden Carter was on the 5th gate. And look at the shape of this start. That very inside, you have to move over so much, you get pinched off. Anytime I'm fastest qualifier, I want a straight shot to the inside of the corner. So that's going to be 5 or 6 gates in, as you guys can kind of see on your screen there. And that's right where Braden Carter was lined up. So if you even edge someone out by a knobby, you're going to be the one getting that spot unless they're taking you down. Eagland also was 2 spots outside on the 7th gate from where Braden Carter was. And so all those guys were separated by 2 gates, but the ones who were closer to the middle fared better than someone right here. Look, if you pin it right now and go dead straight, you're hitting the gate. Even out from the 4th gate, you're going to be running into a hay bale. So you have to turn right before you go left. Little Lightning McQueen action. And that's not good. It's good in cars, but it's not good here in Supercross.
All right, man. It is time for race 2 of the Triple Crown, the 450 class from Cleveland. Special visitor, my daughter up in the house. You got anything to say to the people tonight? What do you got?
I love Supercross.
Yeah. Love it. Good night, sweetheart.
Just sounds valid.
All right, here we go. Race 2. Here we go. Who's going to get that all-important stats guy? Whole shot. Looking up the inside. It's going to come from somewhere down there.
Same gate picks for those guys.
Yep, far inside again for Seth Carr. We'll see if it works this time. Cash Woods up alongside the box. Here we go. It's race 2. Let's go. Oh, Woods hits the gate. Who's going to get the drive down the start straight? Hayden Stevenson
looks good.
Coming from the outside. Carter up the inside again, trying to get it. It is going to be Tyler Lang, stats guy. Whole shot. Hayden Stevenson up the inside is going to take the race lead and take Braden Carter down. He's down here. Seth Carr is absolutely buried with him, but Carter is down in turn number 2. Stevenson ran him high, ran him down. Now Jack Mark goes to the race lead. He's off the track. Tyler Shovey up in a second. Walter Gebhardt's up here. It's all topsy-turvy in race 2.
I know he came out in about 10th, but if Seth Carr picks that gate for the final race, I am going to be mind blown. You just had the same thing happen to you 2 times in a row, getting pinched off. He got lucky that Braden Carter went down, But these guys, a lot of guys are benefiting from that. Jack Mark right here leading us around for the first lap. Got Walter Giblets right on his rear wheel. A lot of riders close. Tyler Show and Colby Eaglin, Johnny Padani, and Wyatt Grant. So those are probably going to be your guys we're looking at to be leading so far in points for this Triple Crown. Eaglin, Grant, and Padani, they were all kind of up there in the first race. But Jack Mark trying to hold this thing off as Walter Gebhardt is showing some speed behind him.
Yeah, Eaglid was third in race one, like you mentioned. Wyatt Grant, I think, ended up in fifth. As off the track goes Jack Mark in that rhythm section, and Walter Gebhardt shoots into the race lead, nails the quad as well. Might be a little short. Ooh, almost off the bike right there, but rides out of it. Eaglin up to third. Padani fourth, and Wyatt Grant in fifth. Now, Carr is 17th. Carter is 20th. We'll try to keep track of their progress through the field and update you guys on points as they run. Looks like Carr's making some amends. Carter's coming through the field with them, so they're going to work together to try to move forward. But meanwhile, it's their teammate, the 103, Walter Giblets, out front here, trying to pull away with the race lead. And we know Walter Gebhardt, when he gets out front, man, he can absolutely lay it down. I would not be surprised to see the 103 win race 2.
No, honestly, Walter, there was was it just one outdoor summer where he was just the fastest man on the planet? I feel like back in 16 or 17 or something. But there was a summer of Gebhardt, and he's got the speed, he's got the big lines. As he cased that quad out the last time around. Oh, hold on to her, bud.
Save.
Wow, I can't believe that jump being there actually helped him bank off so much, or I think he was going down. Wow, keeps it on two wheels. Eaglin is pressuring a little bit. Gebhardt looks like he's got the speed. He's just got to keep it on two.
Yeah, Eaglin's there, a second back. Padani and Wyatt Grant still sitting just behind them. Two KTMs, two different teams. The Underground RC, number 33 of Padani, and the Ashika KTM of Wyatt Grant. See how they're faring, trying to get forward. But I feel like Eaglin's the one to watch in this race, the champ, the number one, 29 points back of Seth Carr entering this race. A win in race 2 could go a long way towards clawing some points back. A little bit nose heavy right there. Still tries to go for the quad, but doesn't quad into the corner. That's okay. Gebhardt up front didn't get anything clean through that rhythm section either. So now he's hopping in and skipping through the whoops, dealing with that pressure coming from behind. Man, battle for third is great, though. Grant just got around Padani, and he might be on the charge.
Yeah, Grant looked good in that first race, too. It's just a bummer that the other people in that race were Carter and Carr. But Wyatt Grant, he's been hot the last couple weeks, looking good starts, and he's been got two of them here so far tonight on his Ashika machine as he's trying to pull and close this gap down. He's got a couple seconds, though, before he can get to Eaglin, so I think he's just got to focus on putting together his lines and just pulling away from Padani so that you don't have that pressure. Every time there is an option line, I feel like Padani can kind of stick his nose in there and make you keep thinking about him. So just keep nailing these sections. Doesn't get that quad over. Keep it on two. Gebhardt is down, right? In that purple gear. Yeah,
I don't know how Padani just rode out of that. He landed on Wyatt Grant's back. Front end lock, slid around, and somehow just landed on two wheels after that. But Colby Eaglin has taken over the race lead thanks to that crash out of Walter Gebhardt. So now Eaglin is looking at a 3-1 as it runs. Grant, I think, at a 5-2. And Padani also in the mix with a 4-3, I believe, as it stands. Gebhardt, now Jack Mark in 5th. Vial 6th, Cashwood 7th, Stevenson 8th, Ash Deering 9th with T-Lang rounding out our top 10. Then race 1 winner Braden Carter right here in 11th. Now Seth Carr was ahead of him, but Carr went down again. So now he's back to 14th place. He is about 8 seconds behind these guys. We got dancing in the corner. T-Lang and Ash Deering are stuck in each other. Looks like T-Lang is able to back out and get broken free. But man, that was really weird, and it just gifted a spot to Carter and Carr.
That's crazy. That's always the worst when you get stuck like that and it takes you longer to get up from a crash than it normally would. Just really bad circumstances right there for him. But Seth Carr, I mean, him and Braden have both had basically last to first races this year. They're both so good, but it feels like just some nights, like I don't know if it's their mood or what, if they're just getting frustrated, maybe how it's happening. There's times where I just see them kind of like explode when they're in the middle of the pack and they seem to gain 10 spots and then drop 10 spots and gain them and drop them. And Carr, we've seen go down multiple times, not just on the start here tonight. He's only in 11th. Braden Carter's only in 9th, 6 seconds ahead of him. But Braden Carter has a lot of other guys kind of in his grasp right now that I think he can get to. Seth Carr just keeps making mistakes, just like we saw there. So he's gonna need to kind of reel this thing back in. He's only got 6 minutes plus a lap to go to start clicking off some points.
Yeah, it doesn't look as comfortable as we saw in race 1, pushing the envelope, and that's obviously probably a bit of a product of being in traffic. We do have another thing happening right here, which is Braden Carter has caught Hayden Stevenson. I think he's just going to try to go by him and not falter with him too much. Those two came together in turn 2 of this race when Stevenson was trying to go to the race lead and took Carter down. Here are your points as they run. Eagland on 4, Padani on 6, Grant on 9. I think Carter just moved to 9 as it runs. So we'll have to keep an eye on him moving into 3rd place. Seth Carr now on 13 points. So even that in and of itself could be a bad result for Carr if he can't get moving forward. Jack Mark just made a mistake. Cash Woods jumps by him. Pablo Vial is all the way up into 5th, so he's riding very well. Gebhardt now 4th. Grant still 3rd right behind Padani as Eagland pulls away to the tune of 5 seconds in the race lead. But these two have just been locked together all race, Andrew Wood.
Yeah, why Grant's so sick. His style, just like his dad. Just like sending that triple off of that inside, or that, I guess it's a quad, off that inside line before the finish is awesome. Grant throwing down right behind him, pressuring Padani though. These guys have been pretty close together all race. Look at that mistake from Padani on the inside. Is he going to be able to double? No, he can't even double into the section. So that's going to give Grant a lot of breathing room as he gets through this section cleanly, pulls away. Now Padani with that one mistake has Walter Gebhardt right on his rear wheel again, who's coming through the whoops with some speed. All of these guys though, pretty good ride up front, but every time you see a big mistake like that from any of these guys from basically 2nd to 5th, that's just helping Carter and Seth Carr gain even more positions as they just get so much more time on the track. Your leader, Colby Eagland, trying to check out from this group, but everyone else making small mistakes can tighten this battle up and let those guys who are battling for the overall get even closer.
Yeah, for example, these two right now are only about 10 seconds ahead of Braden Carter, not even that anymore. So if that's the case and they get together, these two would be passed by Braden Carter, and you would think that Carter's so much farther back than them right now, but that's absolutely not the case. They are going to have to fight for their life just a little bit, and they're still fighting each other even for this 3rd position on the racetrack as Gebhardt kind of rocks through the whoops there just a little bit. Padani's still 3rd. Vial in the 5 spot.
Oh!
Jack Mark 6th, and then whoa. Oh no.
Carter was
had to
down
go off the track because
that to avoid that flipping guy?
Or was that him flipping?
It looked purple.
Okay, maybe Braden Carter
I saw-
flipped off the track.
I don't.
Wow.
Unless there was someone else, I almost wish we clicked back. I know we got limited fingers over there, but I think I saw purple cartwheeling, so that's crazy. We'll have to have the chat maybe go back and check that for us. So Braden Carter now in 7th place, but Seth Carr, who finished right behind him last race in 8th. So this would give him a 2-point buffer going into the last Triple Crown, but that doesn't even matter for the race win because I'm pretty sure Colby Eagland's going to have it quite easily with a 3-1. So I know I don't have all the points, and I think Wyatt Grant would even be ahead of him and Padani. So
Wyatt Grant is Carter and Carr and Grant are tied on points. Carter's 2 points up on them, then 2 points up to Padani, and another 2 points up to Eagland. So 4 points between Eagland and Carter as it runs right now. But again, we'll try to break all this down after the race because these positions are going to change again. I'm almost certain. Jack Mark now under attack soon here from Braden Carter, only 1.5 seconds behind him. Then Carter will try to get all the way to this man, Walter Gebhardt, about 5 seconds up the road. Padani another 3 seconds ahead of that. Vial has clawed all the way up to 2nd place. So Wyatt Grant just went down or slid out or something because he had a pretty good gap to Vial, and now he's behind him. So Vial up in a 2nd.
I wonder if him and Padani got into it too because they both dropped that spot. Unless Padani was already down and I missed that, but Vial just been sitting back here. He was in the catbird seat. Just put yourself in the right spot. Wait for everyone else to make the mistakes while you go out there and get yourself a good finish. 2 minutes plus a lap to go here. And Chad did confirm that was Braden Carter front flipping through that rhythm section, and he downsided the berm after that. I don't know what line he was on, if it was from the quad, the triple, what, but he got lucky, man. He always seems to get away with that stuff.
And Braden Carter just channeling his inner Lane Shaw out there. Figure he'll just front flip way off the track and somehow be okay by the end of it. But yeah, good to see Lane Shaw was okay. Ooh, Grant in and out of the tough blocks is going to get that quad still. But we'll lose a little bit of time because Johnny Tsunami quads up into the corner behind him, and now they're in their own little fight trying to figure out third. Look at that drive and the whoops from Padani. Grant trying to chop the line off. Padani gets the line cut. Oh, and then Grant squared it off, and Padani cut out of the corner early and blocked his line coming back down the start straight. So that was close. Meanwhile, Carter went down as Grant is going over the bars. Gebhardt's going to go by, and Seth Carr might also go through because Carter went down. He's now 5 seconds behind Carr. Carr is getting there as Grant goes over the finish line jump just in front of him. So he'll be right behind Wyatt Grant by about a second with 2-ish laps to go, maybe 3. It'll be close with Eagland out front.
Yeah, Eagland, you never know what kind of lap time he's going to run, but look at Seth Carr. It's crazy because you can go from Wyatt Grant, who's absolutely ripping, watch him hit a corner, click back to Seth Carr, and it just looks like you speed it up ×2. His corner speed is just completely unmatched by so many people. Look at this. Gets the triple quad as Wyatt Grant misses it. That moves him up into the 5th spot. He's going to try to hunt down Padon or Gebhardt, but it's going to be 5 seconds to that. I don't think he can do that. What he can do is settle in, hope Braden Carter doesn't get to Wyatt Grant behind him, and then he'll have the advantage going into the final Triple Crown race here tonight. Man, what a comeback ride for some of these guys, but untouchable is Colby Eagland out front. Just 10 seconds up. His starts are amazing. He's so good and consistent.
Tell you what, man, you talk about a comeback, and Seth Carr's looking like Kim Kardashian out here right now, running up into the 5 spot, closing up on Johnny Padani for 4th place. As we got Braden Carter still in 7th behind them. And look at this, inside for Carr. He's going to try the option line and see if he can make it work. But Donnie's got to try to quad, or Carr might just get right by him. Look at this, doubling to the inside at the end of the rhythm section. Not going to get it done. Padani doesn't want to let him through.
Yeah, it doesn't let him through there. Look at those ruts. I forgot we need to look at that after this race, but that whoop section and that jump after. Carr going for the outside line. It's built up a little bit more. 450 has some power to get it to the ground on that table. Still a little bit slower, but I think maybe just like safe sometimes if you're not feeling comfortable with going up the inside right behind someone on that kind of off-camber weird rut. Look at Carr, though. Carr gets a good drive. Oh, actually misses almost like a seat bounce, so misses that triple there cleanly. Padani still able to keep it on 2 wheels and stay alive. They're both going outside, triple quad. Final lap, Kellen, Colby Eagland coming home.
Colby Eagland's going to come down and win race 2. He is in a great position to win the overall tonight, but it's still all to play for behind them. Carr has not been able to pass Padani. Actually lost a little bit of time to him through the whoops right there, so Padani looks like he's going to stay up ahead of him in 4th place. It's Vial 2nd, Gebhardt 3rd, Padani coming to the line in the 4th spot. He will hold that position. Carr in 5th. Carter gets all the way back to 6th, which means Carter and Carr are tied going into the final race of the night. Wyatt Grant still dealing with T-Lang to the flag right here. Wyatt Grant going nose high, gets across the line in 7th, 8th for T-Lang, Seabolt 9th, Cashwood's top 10, Deering 11th, Seth Shirley in 12th, Stevenson in 13th, and everybody behind that a lap down.
Shout out Spencer Turley. Can we go look at the whoops? Do we have time?
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
I know it's hard to do all that with your situation. Do a fly by down the whoops. Look at this. One main rut where these guys are being able to put some power to the ground, but then it spreads out as they get through. Look at all those different ruts, and then they're slamming into this jump face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ruts. Even that one rut was like all the way on the right side by the bale. Insane. So that's why I feel like we see those guys get into it, start banging gears, but then they start to get a little sketchy at the end, depending on how straight they can carry it through there. But yeah, crazy corner speed by some of those guys. Seth Carr always blows you away. Great comeback.
Good save on the words there.
Thank you.
Seth Carr always blows you away.
You away.
Colby Eagland on 4 points, Seth Carr on 7, Carter on 7, Padani on 8, Vial on 11. So it's really kind of between Carr, Carter, Padani, and Eagland maybe going into this final race, but who the heck knows? Let's talk about what's going on in the Triple Crown for the 250 class. Well, Cade Matherly enters this race with a 1 and a 3. He's on 4. Ryan Chowsey enters with a 3 and a 2. He's on 5. Braden Tharp on 7. Jake Spiess on 12. Tanner Rogers on 13. And we'll try to keep you guys well informed on what is happening throughout this race. 10 minutes plus a lap. 250 race 3 coming at you to decide a winner. Do we have a whole shot pick? Stats Guy whole shot award coming at you.
You know? Can't knock Cade.
Can't knock Cade.
Sorry, I'm trying to check my email real quick.
Cade Matherly has a whole shot here tonight already at least once. Can he do it again? We'll see what happens. Ryan Chowsey's been good off the gate. Needing a good start here tonight in race 3, though, for sure, is Jake Spiess. He wants to try to get some points back on Tharp, not lose the points lead. So we'll see what happens right now. Rogers, Jackson, Lawson Dye, Devin Cook, Braden Tharp, Cody Wells, Ryan Rich, Jake Spiess, Seth Crotty, Mattis Merle, Logan Mortberg, Cade Matherly, Elliot Person, Brandon Nygren. He won race 2. You know him. You love him.
Shout out,
favorite here for
shout
race
out
3.
Ben Nerona, whose team name is Ashika KTM. Wow, so good. Just makes me smile. Thank you, Ben Nerona, for being you.
Here we go, folks. It's time to drop the gate on the final race of the Triple Crown here in Cleveland. 250 race 3 coming at you. Drop the gate. Look at that. The 181 of Logan Mortberg, I think, is there first. Does he come out with the whole shot? Yes, he does. Logan Mortberg, the Sunbelt Gas gets the Stats Guy whole shot. Jake Spiess trying to go to the lead with Tharp to the outside, casing the triple slightly. Spiess not able to get the Supercross triple, has to check up and double, loses 1 position, might lose 2 as Cody Wells goes down the inside. Nerona also shot by. Spiess does not want to let these guys get away too quickly. He's back into the 4 spot. Tharp down the inside of Mortberg, takes the race lead. Is it goodbye time for the 9?
Yeah, honestly, even with that big mistake right there from the start, really excited to see Spiess finally get a pretty decent start along with Tharp. I was hoping he wouldn't fall back that far and we could see these guys go mano and mono like we did in the first 450 race, but I think Spiess has the ability to work his way back up there, only 4 seconds back from where he's at right now. But Braden Tharp looking good out front, and this is dangerous when you give him a great start because we know what he's able to do when he starts up here.
Yep, Tharp already has a 1.5 second lead over Ben Nerona. Mortberg now 3rd with Wells 4th, Halam in 5th, and Spiess rounds out our 6th position here with Seth Crotty right behind him in 7th. Cade Matherly, by the way, who entered this one with that lead, is down in 18th place. So he has some work to do to get up here and fight for the overall win. Spiess lands on the backside there of Quentin Hallam and goes down. Seth Crotty goes with him, and this is going to hurt Jake Spiess so bad as he falls down the order.
Yeah, not as I was just kind of talking about how he didn't hurt himself too bad. That is going to hurt you. And even if you're just riding around in 5th place, there's still the issue of not starting totally up front can just put you in bad positions that can keep getting worse. Just like that, having to dodge down riders does make 3 passes right there, pretty much in that one corner, but not where you want to see yourself if you're Jake Spiess. Also, Cade Matherly back down in 14th place, so he's having a way worse time. Braden Tharp is the only one really kind of capitalizing out of those 3 on this race. Everyone else is having a terrible start.
Yeah, Matherly still trying to make amends through the field. It is Tharp who would win the overall as it runs right now, sitting on 8 points, but I think Matherly can get into a position where he could still win this overall. We'll have to see how it shakes out. Jake Spiess now up into 7th, trying to track down Elliot Person just ahead of him. Ryan Chowsey in 5th with Cody Wells. Mortberg, this is a great ride for Logan Mortberg, real-life Rippa on the Sunbelt Gas 181 machine. Whole shots the race. Has fallen back to 3rd, but I feel like has settled nicely into this pace when it could have come at him a little bit too quick.
Yeah, I think sometimes your heart rate just starts going up and you get a little bit nervous if you're not used to being out there leading laps. He's a 181 machine, so he's got a 3-digit. It means he didn't earn a national number last year, so maybe not too used to leading laps. So getting a whole shot and leading a couple and falling back into 3rd is actually a pretty comfortable spot, I feel like, because you're just you're not in that battle for the race lead. He's also got a pretty big time gap to the lead, so I think he will be able to just settle in and get himself hopefully at least a top 5 finish here after that great start.
Yep, still holding on to a strong third. So there is the points as they run. Tharp 8, Chelsea 11, Matherly 15, Nerona 17, then Jake Spies on 19. So Spies needs a lot of help to not lose the red plate here tonight. Tharp is in a great position to take this thing back into his clutches heading into Philadelphia next week. A 7-second lead. We talked about him maybe just being able to sprint away with this thing. Not quite halfway just yet. Is there anything that could still stop Braden Tharp other than himself?
Yeah, lappers. I think with this just being such a short track, you already have Devin Cook, who's just had a bad start to this race. That's only about 8 seconds away from being lapped on the track. So one mistake can put him in there, and Braden Tharp's going to be the first person coming up and hitting him. Good thing is he's got a good little points lead for this overall. And I do think he's got a big enough cushion to where he doesn't need to push it. If you have someone 2 seconds off of you, you got to try to work your way through those lappers quick. Right now, he's got 8 seconds to Ben Nerona in second. So I think I gave Ben Nerona good luck by shouting out his name. And then now he's putting on a great ride. But Braden Tharp, I think, is going to be able to pick his way around this track and hopefully hold on to this thing.
Yep, just got to not miss his mark and put himself into a bad situation. And I think he is on his way to winning maybe even this overall, if not just the race. Nerona, as you mentioned, in second. Great ride for him. Mortberg now starting to come under attack just a little bit. Elliott Person is here. Ryan Chelsea, Cody Wells, and then Jake Spies. So Spies has a lot of guys right in front of him. He could get rather quickly if he bites his time and waits for them to make some mistakes. Chelsea and Wells going at it into the whoops. Spies actually going to charge down the outside of the whoops right here and almost get up alongside Cody Wells. He tries for an inside move. Doesn't get it just yet, but he's right there knocking on the door.
Yeah, these guys are... Cody Wells trying to fight him off. Ooh, Spies goes down. Just a small mistake out there. Trying to go to the outside, maybe different line, so he's not following. See if maybe Cody Wells would make a small mistake ahead of him. He ended up making the mistake himself. So Chelsea's still sitting back here. Him and Person have been kind of chasing down Mortberg. Right. Ooh, as he whips past Mortberg on the triple. Mortberg cases the triple as well, so must have messed up that triple in. Almost allows his teammate Chelsea to go by him as well. So, yeah, big mistake right there.
Yeah, and this is interesting because if Chelsea can get into second place in this race, he'll win the overall over Braden Tharp, regardless of Tharp winning the race or not. And down goes Elliott Person just ahead of them out of third place. So that's going to be another free position for Chelsea. Mortberg goes back by. Tanner Rogers should be going by on Elliott Person as well, or maybe actually Person got going right in front of him. Yes, he did actually. So then it's Rogers and Spies up the inside trying to get by Rogers. Rogers squeezes back through to make that pass. Oh, and then crosses over in front of Spies a little bit. Spies kind of came over the other way as well. And there goes Cade Matherly. So Matherly's all the way up to 7th. And Matherly, as he continues to click off positions, is going to get himself back into a spot where even he could be in consideration for this overall win as we click down the laps in this race.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see, just because I don't have the points right ahead of me, if Chelsea gets up in the second, it's not that far away. Braden Tharp could win this race by 20 seconds, and Chelsea only has to gain 8 seconds in 2 positions to get by Mortberg and Nerona and win this overall. But if Cade comes up, I don't know how far he has to come up to kind of nullify that and win it himself if there's a position he can get to. But very interesting to see, and we'll keep getting those points updated for you guys.
I think Cade has to get to 3rd as it runs.
So man, that would be insane if Tharp gets 1st and Chelsea gets the 2nd, and Cade can somehow come all the way to 3rd after being that far back. Just tossing... Nope, not going to say it.
I almost got you.
It's just switching. The win is just switching hands back and forth.
Yeah.
Hot potato.
Does sound like Cade also has to beat Chelsea, which is maybe part of the equation here. Logan Mortberg has slipped back a little ways, and here's Matherly up the inside trying to get him. Backs out of the challenge because Mortberg was crossing over on that double line right there. So now Matherly switches back to the other side of the racetrack. A mistake there for Mortberg, and Matherly jumps into the inside of the berm, runs him high and takes him out. Doesn't even care, man. I'm trying to go win this race, and you are just slowing me down because now Jake Spies is sitting there in the background as well. Matherly, another position. Spies still right there trying to go with him as they might work together to get up here.
That was felt risky. Kind of, maybe there was a little less contact than it looked like, but Cade with a great takedown right there. He's got Jake's Beast, though. I do think that'll help him keep his speed up, though, and keep working his way through the field as there's two more riders down.
Rogers.
That's Tanner Rogers for sure.
And
Elliot Person on the KTM.
Yeah. So Matherly's trying to hop over Rogers to the outside. Not going to work. But this could be huge for overall implications here. They might end up in a tie even if it is going to be Matherly getting around Rogers to be one spot behind Chelsea. Chelsea really needs to go run down Ben Nerona to win this overall and put a stamp on it, because right now he's tied with Braden Tharp. The only thing he can do is pass one more rider to win the overall. Rogers is trying to hold off Cade Matherly. Spieth is now also gotten by Elliot Person. So the overalls are just kind of all over the place right now as it stands. Minute left to go, plus a lap. And this could go so many different ways in the final 2 or 3 laps of this race, I should say.
This is awesome. I feel like the Triple Crowns don't normally come down this far between this many riders. Tharp 16 seconds out front. The problem is Nerona was 10 seconds clear of Chelsea, but now he's only 4. So that's the position Chelsea needs to gain in the next couple laps here. Oh, and looks like Chelsea might have went down in third. Just based on timing. Yeah, and Nerona, maybe Tharp went down too. Nerona gained a lot of time. So that brings Chelsea closer to Cade Matherly here. But right now, I think it's going to be Tharp with the overall, unless still...
oh, and Rogers is stacked up off the track right there. So Matherly is going to go by, I think. Yes, he is. He's going to go by. So Matherly now should move, I believe, into a tie with Tharp. Tharp would have the tiebreaker.
Better second one, so he needs to get Chelsea 5 seconds ahead of him. So that's the race we're kind of looking at on the track, as long as all that big math.
They're all tied.
All tied.
8-8-8. Tharp, Chelsea, Matherly.
So Tharp wins. The only one I see making a difference would be Matherly, because he's 5 seconds back of Chelsea. Chelsea's 20 seconds off, so he can't really better himself. He's 10 seconds off Nerona.
Oh, how did Matherly not go down? He was off the track and jumped back in front of Rogers and almost laid it down. Rogers is trying to get to the inside of him. Elliot Person is now in the mix as well. All just trying to play spoiler.
Yeah, Rogers isn't even in this fight right there, but sticking it up the inside, going into that long rhythm section. Cade needs to get him off of his rear tire, but Tanner Rogers don't care. He's just a honey badger. He don't give a F, so he's trying to make as many spots as he can. Cade finally getting a little bit of a gap on him, but still that 5-second gap as we go to the white flag. Gonna need a big mistake from one of the riders out ahead of him. Tharp, Nerona, Chelsea, Matherly, Rogers are your top 5.
Might need some clarification on this tiebreaker, because I would have thought Tharp would get it with the better third moto, but I'm being told that it might be Ryan Chelsea who would end up with the overall win. Either way, Braden Tharp is going to come down to the checkered flag. Tharp wins race 3. Now let's figure out what settles behind them. Nerona should be second. Chelsea gets through the whoops and almost gets hit by Nick Thomas-Sunis. So Chelsea coming down the other way is also going to end on 8 points. And on 8 points as well behind him will be Cade Matherly. So something is up here. I got to try to figure out how this works.
I don't understand that tiebreaker. So Cade Matherly comes across in fourth. Tharp, Nerona, Chelsea, Matherly, which is a 3-way tie, but how would it not be the best last moto?
I would think it was the best last moto, but unless they're talking about the best worst score, which would be Chelsea, he went 3-2-3, I believe. And then
has that ever been
it's better third moto. It would be Tharp, Chelsea, Matherly. Okay, so there you go. Confirmed. Braden Tharp has won here in Cleveland.
First time,
I believe, fourth win of the season, and it would get him the red plate back because Spieth could not get up there. In fact, Spieth is going to end up 6th overall tonight, and the tides have turned back into the favor of the 9. Tharp leaves here with the red plate.
Look at us big brain tiebreak knowers.
Oh,
look at me and you.
It's hard when they all tie, man. It's confusing.
It is pretty. I actually thought it was. Once he said, "Hey, if it goes like this, it's a tiebreaker," I felt like that made it easier because I actually knew who won. But man, what an amazing night of racing so far. I don't think we've ever seen a 3-way tie for a Triple Crown. Ever. Yeah. Real life, sim. Thank you guys all for coming out, watching this great racing here tonight. Absolutely awesome. Man, Jake Spieth, just when I think he's got it, he keeps rubber banding. Good race, bad race, good race, bad race. And on a night where Tharp kind of did the same thing for a few races, but on a night where consistency matters, he was the one that was able to have the most consistent finishes over 3 races. Great rides by all the other riders out there as well. Nerona, Rogers, who did finish off the podium. But yeah, Spieth, man, that's a big hit to points. He's going to have to pray for a win his next week out and then be able to do something at the showdown.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, you would think, a Triple Crown, I think Spieth can, even if he doesn't have a great race, should only leave here a few points down. But to leave 6th place in this race, he's going to have I think it's a 9 or 10-point championship swing, so it'll be 9 back, I believe, in the standings now with 2 of these East races still to go. 1 regular race at Philly and then the showdown at Salt Lake City. Kind of feel like he needs to win Philly if he wants to have a shot at Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to. And then you're going up against, everyone else on the East Coast, people that have clinched their championships. Maybe they're not even there if you're Cash Woods. And if you're just someone that, doesn't really care, you're out of it and you're just there, you're not maybe putting up the same fight that you would. I know some guys do like to go out and try to win a shootout, but it's going to be hard to get that many spoilers. He needs to win and maybe have Tharp have an off night even too.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens next week in Philadelphia for the 250 East Division new red plate holder. Braden Tharp rolls in with the momentum, but still have one more race to go here tonight. It is the 450 boys, 450 race 3, 12 minutes plus a lap coming up. And I'll tell you all about it, folks. Colby Eaglin enters on 4 points, 7 points for Seth Carr, 7 points for Braden Carter, 8 points for Johnny Padani, 11 for Pablo Vial. Kind of seems like it's going to come down to the 3 District Designs Yamaha bikes to decide an overall winner here tonight. Do you have a favorite, Andrew Wood?
Yeah, Carr and Carter are tied at 7.
Yep.
I like. Ooh.
Ooh.
I like.
Brother.
Maybe, I do like Eaglin. I feel like his starts have been good. He's been consistent. I've always been an Eaglin fan. All known BPC hater. Definitely not a friend, but known hater. But no, the fact that there needs to be a 3-point difference over Eaglin, I think Eaglin can kind of go out there and get that like 4th or better, or 3rd or better in this race. The fact that Carr and Carter are both so far back, I could easily see them hole shotting and checking out, but I think Eaglin having that little points buffer into this last one is going to help. Let's see where Seth Carr is at. Thank God he moved to the 5th gate. Braden Carter is now 1 outside of him in the 6th gate, and Eaglin is where he has been in the 8th gate. So hopefully a better chance to start for Carr here.
Here we go. Race 3 of the Triple Crown coming at you from Cleveland. We're off and running. Who gets the better jump? It looks like Carter by a nose as he goes into turn number 1 up the inside. He's going to try to sneak through. Braden Carter, Stats Guy, whole shot. Dylan Dallaire up there behind him with Johnny Padani. Seth Carr in 4th. Gebhardt rounds out the top 5, but they're all chasing the big blue deuce out front.
I'm not saying I know ball, Kellen, but I do know hole shots and starting position. So look at that. Seth Carr had a horrible jump tucked in on the inside, but he wasn't pinched off, and he's got a great start in the top 4. I do think we're going to see another barn burner here like we saw in the first race of the night. Padani's also up there in points for the night, so he could play a little bit of spoiler. Small mistake it looked like by Seth Carr. He lost some time, but Dallaire is on Padani, who is right on Braden Carter. Carr going for that outside line just not to follow those 3 guys ahead of him. This is going to be a great race, Kellen. And Eaglin is right there in 5th, just behind Carr, so couldn't have asked for a better ending to this Triple Crown. This has been amazing.
Was just about to say maybe the best position of the race is Colby Eaglin because he can sit back there and watch these two try to figure each other out. Padani also, of course, in position with the overall standings on 8 points, so he kind of tries to factor into this as well. And I'd kind of be curious to see if Padani wants to go after Carter for the lead, even just to ruffle his feathers and put him back a little ways so that he can get a gap established, but he's going to lose a position to Dylan Dallaire. So it's Carter, Dallaire, Padani, Carr, Eaglin, the top 5 here, lap and a half into this thing, and Carr looks like he is starting to wind it up just a little bit here in 4th place.
Yeah, he is ready to start moving. He really likes when the track breaks down. He's not afraid to take alternate lines out there, but like you said, and I kind of mentioned earlier, Eaglin's my favorite because could you see this race being Braden Carter, Seth Carr, and Colby Eaglin all 2 seconds apart at the front? But Colby Eaglin would just ride himself to a smooth 3rd place. Seth Carr and Braden Carter are not in the driver's seat in this race. And the only person that is that's up there is Colby Eagland right now. Even Padani, who's a little bit further back, he's just got to go get the best finish he can and hope one of these guys makes some mistakes.
Buckle up, folks. We got 10 minutes plus a lap coming at you, and it's going to be a good one as Carter getting sideways in the whoops, corrals it together. Dylan Dallaire on the 12 has come alive here in race number 3. He's getting away even from Padani. He wants a slice of Braden Carter for the race lead.
Yeah, he is looking good up front. I don't know where the speed came from Dylan Dallaire. We have seen him with really good qualifying speed, but not so far tonight. Maybe he's just putting in some work, and maybe just got that good start that allows him to kind of go out there and put on a race where he thinks he could be. Jumps a little bit wide off that 353, gets into the bales, still able to make that triple. Not super clean, loses a little bit of time, but he's gonna like to go with that triple or single, then triple from the outside there. Seth Carr trying to make a move on Padani. Does he have it up the inside?
Not quite. Padani with the triple back to the outside, holds steady in position. I'm surprised, given the way this race is shaken down so far, that Carter has not been able to get away, and Dallaire, a mistake at the end of the whoops, stacks it and goes down. I think he got clipped on his way by as well.
Turley?
By might have been Eagland, I think, who put him down in the first place. But yeah, that moves everybody up a position. Padani, Carr, and Eagland all go through. Turley now into the top 5. Carr working on Padani, trying to get into this second position. He wants clean air because he wants to run down Braden Carter and win this race.
Yeah, he does. Padani is gonna find out real quick the Seth Carr experience, I think, because he's not afraid to kind of make an impressive move on someone. The thing is, if anything happens between these two, Eagland easily slides up into the overall position. But Padani's looking so solid up front. Johnny Tsunami probably still hasn't seen the movie. Disappointed in him if he hasn't. But looking good so far and able to keep some speed with these top guys. You can tell Carr has a little bit more, but just unable to make it happen in the right spots. And now Carr even using that outside to get closer.
Look at how close the battle is between these two, and they're pushing each other up to Braden Carter. The gap is only 1.3 seconds as they're starting to get into a little bit of lap traffic here. 7.5 minutes plus a lap still to go. And this seems like it's going to be the best race of the night. They saved the best for the last for you fine folks watching at home as Carr triples up the inside. He's been going 3-3, 2 to the inside, trying to do a different rhythm option through here. Doesn't work because offline is Johnny Padani. Carr to the inside before the whoops, takes over second place. 2 seconds to go to run down his teammate out front.
Thought he was going to move over on him and try to cut him off. Not really a cross jump up between those jumps, kind of like we saw Wyatt Grant do in the whoops earlier on. But he is kind of respectful, pulls away, lets Carr get that spot. He's going to try to remount a charge here, but now we get to see 1.5 seconds between them. This is pretty much an exact repeat of that first race that we saw between these two. Seth Carr versus Braden Carter. And just like you said, Colby Eagland sitting a couple seconds back and forth, just watching this thing unfold, trying to take this overall still.
Yeah, because the crazy part about it right now, Carter on 8, Eagland on 8, Carr on 9. So even if Carr runs down Carter, passes him to try to go win this final race, well, Colby Eagland just needs to get around Johnny Padani to get third, and he'll win the overall. So that's just the affordability he's given himself. Carter is down at the end of the whoops, and he's off the bike. So that is actually going to be the position that puts Colby Eagland back in the overall catbird seat. He is now 1 point up on Seth Carr as it runs. Padani, though, is not done with the number 6. He's still only 0.8 of a second behind him, and Carr almost just went over the bars going through that rhythm section, so he looks a bit flustered.
Yeah, definitely. Got to kind of reel himself back in. 6 minutes plus a lap to go for Seth Carr and the rest of these boys on the track. When you make one small mistake like that, it is very easy to just kind of get inside your own head. You're like, okay, let me not make that mistake next time around. Maybe your heart rate raises, your hands get a little sweaty, your knees are weak, mom spaghetti. And Seth Carr comes through. Honestly, it's really hard to settle back down, but we've seen him kind of become kind of stuck with his own fate. He almost causes it sometimes.
Whoa.
When he falls apart, but it looks like he's settled back down. And just like that, his best lap time of the race, even with the mistake, I think he's going to keep going and moving forward, trying to check out and let the rest of this race get into it. Braden Carter down again, so he's back to 6th, Turley into 4th, Shoei into 5th.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Carter. I don't think it was in the whoops again, because I think that gap went out even before he got to the whoops this time by, but 2 bad laps in a row for Braden Carter, and it goes from winning the race, winning the overall to down in 6th place and falling off the podium. As it runs right now, Johnny Padani would actually get on the box here tonight with Carter in 4th. Eaglin's still in a position to win the overall, running in 3rd, but he doesn't seem to be kindly settling here for the 3 spot. He has caught Johnny Padani and maybe just given himself a little bit of a buffer by trying to finish 2nd in this race.
Yeah, I think if he can get 2nd, he will really kind of lock in and just settle down. The problem is Padani's looked great right ahead of him, and I don't think he really has a choice here. I think if I'm Eagland, I try to just be consistent, hit my marks, but I'm not trying to force anything. You know you're going to get into lappers, and you know Padani has a little bit less experience up front as you as a past champion do, and maybe you can force him into a mistake just by being there the whole entire race and making him kind of get inside his own head.
Yep, so he's pushing Padani. Padani is now trying to force the issue, going back to the quad. Quad line is part of the problem there as well, and getting around a lapped rider right there. I think that was maybe Brandon Cockcroft on the 88, having a good ride, but still getting put a lap down quite early here, as Eagland is just ahead of his teammate Walter Gebhardt, who is also a lap down, and Gebhardt's trying to get by Cockcroft, and they take each other out and almost land on Eagland. So classic race for 17th place, battling the leaders at the same time, coming at you. Hey, we haven't talked about this gentleman much here tonight, and we should, because he is running in 4th place right now in this final race. It's pulling him up to a 12th place overall finish, so a bad night otherwise. But Spencer Turley, what's up, my dudes? Having a good run here in race 3.
You know, the most Spencer Turley thing ever is that you put him on camera and he's the only person hopping out of that inside right, doing the double across the start straight, triple double in that corner. Just put him on camera for the first time as he almost goes over the bars, and he shows us a different line no one's really hit all night since the heat race, or since the first LCQ. But great ride for Spencer Turley right here. But look at the whoop speed that Gebhardt has. He's trying to come up alongside him and make a move. Unable to get it done just yet, but he has a good drive. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, Turley. Turley was going so far outside to swing it in there and couldn't get his front wheel into the rut there. Small mistakes, but still able to hold on to that spot. 4th spot for Turley. Braden Carter coming right up on his rear. Is that wrong? Wait, what?
Yeah, so Eagland.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Gebhardt is a lap down, but he's still battling these guys. So Carter back into 5th now. Wait a minute. Eagland was down. Eagland was down, and that promotes Turley up to 3rd, which pushes Eagland back to 4th and now gives Seth Carr the overall advantage as it runs. Padani is still right behind Seth Carr, by the way, 1.6 seconds down. I think Carr maybe just had another mistake. Oh, and now Eagland's down on his teammate Gebhardt in the whoops. He's backwards as Carter goes by. Carr into the overall lead, and Carter through again on Eagland into 4th place.
Yeah, so if Eagland is anywhere 4th or back, he's going to be on 8 points. If Carr or Carter are winning, they're going to be on 8 points as well, but they would win that tiebreaker from the best 3rd moto finish. So what a crazy... it's nice that the points are so close between 3 of these guys in the top 5 here. But, man, we need Eagland to get back on his horse. Turley with the ride of his life right now in 3rd. Padani only 3 seconds off of Seth Carr up front. So this is a crazy ride right here. We'll stay on Braden Carter just for a little bit, see what he's able to do, if he can put together some rhythm sections, get up to Spencer Turley. Spencer Turley is all just kind of in a life of his own, though. Padani up here in 2nd. Was trying to get up. He was so close, only 2 seconds away from Carr, and then got stuck on that lapper, and now he dropped 5 seconds back.
Yeah, just got pushed out wide in the off camber right there. That really impacted his drive forward, because he was still within striking distance of Seth Carr, but now Carr seems to have figured this race out at the front of the field. 5-second gap, and on his way to another race victory, extending his championship lead if it finishes this way. Not over until it's over, though. He's got to make it through a group of lappers. He's got to keep hitting those whoops clean every single lap. Also could be a bit of a problem area for him. And we'll see if he's able to hold on here in the final 2 laps of this race. Turley getting sideways, entering the whoops. He's trying to get a podium in this final race of the night, which would be really big for him. Still sitting 12th overall, but I think he'd be happy to walk out with P3 in race 3.
Oh, yeah. Always super confidence building and really fun to get a good finish in any type of race, whether it's a heat, LCQ, anything like that. So Spencer Turley looking good here, but you're so far away from Johnny Padani up front. If you're Colby Eagland, you really need Turley and Braden Carter to both have mistakes, and they're right on each other. So maybe they come together and they're battling, but the problem is time just expired. So now it's 2 laps to go, or more like a lap and a half for these guys, as the leader is so far ahead of them. So just keeping an eye on Carter and Turley to see if anything happens, because right now Carr has the overall, unless something changes with these 2 riders, and Eaglin can jump 2 spots.
Yep, white flag should be coming out. There it is.
Oh my God.
Carter looks like he is mad, man. He wanted to win this race. He wanted to win the overall and keep gaining those points back, but it just has not gone his way, not only in this race, but even race 2 kind of fell the wayside to him and allowed Seth Carr the opportunity to do exactly what he's doing, getting out front, getting the lead, and taking off with it. He's done it so many times this year. He's won so many races this year. It's why he has a 28-point lead in the championship coming into this race. And now, with 3 rounds to go coming up after this, he's going to extend that thing out to over 30 points again. We are back into the realm where he could clinch this thing around early and put this 450 championship to bed. It's another win, this time at the Triple Crown. Seth Carr back on top as he takes the Cleveland Supercross in MX Simulator. Padani trying to come to the line, looking to pick up second in this race. Will do so. Carter does get Turley late for this one to get back to third, but I think it's still not going to be enough to get on the box overall because Padani has the better second or third moto score. And Colby Eagland, what could have been, tried to get there. Carter actually lost a spot to Turley on cuts at the end, but I feel like this is a blown opportunity for Eagland and Carter, but maybe more so for Colby Eagland because he had this race won.
Yeah, bummer for Eaglin. I mean, he was in the spot. He started out in a spot that we said was comfortable. He could slowly work his way up. He did. He had the overall. He even had a chance to get 1 spot better right ahead of him to kind of guarantee him the overall. Just mistakes on his own. That changed everything. Seth Carr with a great ride, though. I want to shout out Spencer Turley for a podium in that last moto there. And also Johnny Padani for a great ride all night. Consistency is key in the Triple Crowns, and you absolutely crushed it. So great ride for all these guys, and that was freaking awesome. How close those were in points as we came down to between all 3 riders in both classes.
Freaking awesome indeed. Great way to put it.
Freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, so what a crazy night of racing. Seth Carr wins again. Braden Tharp wins again. It's kind of the established guys reestablishing themselves, if you will. I know we expected Carter and Eagland to maybe get some points back on Carr again, but I think Carr is just at this point proving he is the new era. He is the new age of this game. He's the outdoor champion. He's the SMX champ, and he's 1 step away from winning this Supercross title.
Yeah, and I don't think that it means Carter's never going to win again as far as titles. I just think depending on where these guys are at in their lives, I know Carter isn't able to put in as much time as he wants, but he shows us that the potential is still there. But for consistency and speed, the total package right now is Seth Carr. And going in outdoors, he is a force to be reckoned with. And even if something did change in Carter's program, he's normally not an outdoor specialist. He's more of he's a Supercross guy. So Seth Carr is going to be absolutely insane, but hopefully we can see some of these guys step up in outdoors and kind of challenge him, because Seth Carr domination is fun, but I also like some close racing.
Do like close racing indeed, and we'll give you an update on the points situation now. Heading into Philadelphia next week, Seth Carr sitting on 297 points after tonight's action, winning the Triple Crown here in Cleveland. 32 points up on Colby Eagland, 35 points up on Braden Carter, and he is now once again in position where he could clinch this thing after the Denver Supercross in a couple weeks' time. So that's an interesting tidbit there. 250 East Supercross heading into the penultimate round next week. 8 points, actually. I thought it was 9. It is 8 points between Spieth and Tharp. Clearly down to just between the two of them, 170 to 162. 2 rounds to go. I think we mentioned it after that race, but I feel like Spieth has got to win Philly to get this thing back.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I would say even first and third for those guys. Hopefully you can have Cade be spoiler. But to get that down 5 points would be nice, because then the 3 points would be you win and Tharp gets second, and then you need another spoiler at that final round. So I think to be comfortable, if I'm Jake Spieth, I need to set my sights on just winning next week, and that's all I'm trying to do here. If Braden Tharp can do it or Cade can do it and they have another bad race, I think the championship might be over. Never really over with the shootout and the way the points can fluctuate right there. But if I'm Spieth, you've been going back and forth, 1 week on, 1 week off. Tomorrow or next week's got to be your week on again.
So we'll see what happens as we head into Philadelphia next week for round number 15 of Underground RC Supercross live here on Start Your Systems. What a triple crown we have just witnessed here inside of, I think it's called Huntington Bank Stadium or something. I don't know, from Cleveland. But
is it the Brown Stadium?
It is the Brown Stadium.
A lot of losing going on in that stadium.
Oh, man.
Not for Carr.
Oh, man. Yep. Carr and Tharp, your winners here tonight in Cleveland. All right, folks, that is going to do it for us here for round 14 of the championship. Of course, a big thank you to Race Factory Gaming, Tyler Lang, Luke Scheffler, obviously Jacob Hubbard with the Battleground side of things, as well as Lane Burks handling the stats over for us all the time, crushing it with those. Thanks so much for your guys' support, as well as the Race Factor Gaming track crew for all the work that they do behind the scenes to make this racetrack possible every single week. Underground RC, of course, sponsoring the series. Big thanks to them for all their support all season long. And as well, all of you fine folks watching at home week after week. We are down to the final 3. Can't wait to see what happens when we go racing next week in Philadelphia. Thank you so much, Andrew Wood, for joining me again here tonight for Cleveland and Philadelphia coming up next week.
Racking them up.
It
was a rough start to the season, but we're just racking them up now.
That's all right. We had a lot of fun guests in. I think we might still squeak a couple more in before the season's out, so that should be fun as well. But down to the final 3, man. We'll see what happens. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. For Kellen Brower, Andrew Wood, and everyone else behind the scenes, we thank you for watching round 14 of Underground RC Supercross, and we'll see you next week. So long for now.